Hello. Whoops, hold on, let me come over here. Good morning. How we doing, everybody? Guess who's live again?
Bike.
Mike? Who's Mike?
We bike.
We bike?
Back.
It's not me,
Bike.
that
Yeah.
Look at the English. Oh, bon Dieu. You know what I'm saying? You to school to learn that type of English? We bike.
Hey. You gotta be able to communicate with the little kitties out there in the world. Well.
Yo. All right. Just making sure everything is good on stream. Everything is looking good. Yep. Everything is looking good on the stream. We are live. Audio checks was good. And welcome to week 7 by Saint Dat. Cuz, did you see that? Did you see that Patriots game this morning? I seen that. Did you?
For a lot of those who've seen that, we would prefer to not have seen that. Listen, they had a good starting drive. I'll give them that.
Listen, you guys started really
downhill
good.
from there.
I cannot deny that. You guys started awesomely well. And then, whoops.
But I'll be honest with you, I prefer to have these type of games with the rookie, knowing that there's upside compared to having these type games with the Jacoby Brissett, where kind of know what he is at this stage of his NFL career.
No, because he actually looked really, really good today. I am not going to lie to you. All right. No, he showed a lot of promise. I cannot deny that in the slightest form. In the slightest. So, what do you think was the reason that y'all lost today? Was it the defense? Was it the offense? Was it special teams? Like, what was? Because special teams did give up a touchdown.
I think it's just a combination of things. We've had to rely on the defense all year long, so it shouldn't surprise anyone if they're starting to show some signs of fatigue or they've spent a lot of time on the field. And on top of that, it's just for a young quarterback, establishing consistency, developing rapport with the wide receivers, which is not quite there yet, but you can see signs. He's thrown the ball. Last week, he threw more touchdowns than Jacoby Brissett did all season in one game.
Okay. Okay.
Even this week, watching the game, you could see more attempts. And granted, they fell behind a little bit. And so when that happens, you do tend to focus on a more pass orientated type offense. But when he is attempting to pass the ball downfield, it looks better than it did with Jacoby Brissett.
I will say, and I know Hunter Henry was here with Jacoby Brissett, but Hunter Henry was looking a lot, kind of good this game. Now, all the wide receivers obviously got upgraded with Drake May playing right now as compared to who it was before. But no, Drake May made Hunter Henry look good. He's some drops. I'm looking, and again, I didn't watch the whole game, but for the plays that I did see, I didn't really see anything where I was like, that's a rookie doing a rookie mistake per se. Like I will say, this one play that I saw was he, I don't know what happened. It was supposed to be a play action rollout, and he stumbled. And on that same play that he stumbled or tripped on himself, he didn't fall down, but he tripped on himself. But the right tackle also did not block it all, at all. And then he was able to scramble back to his left, and then he threw it at the feet of the running back. And even the commentator was like, that's not a rookie quarterback thing. Usually, they get sacked or they force a throw and get an interception. He did the smart throwaway where he was like, I'm still inside the box. I got to get it away. The running back was in the backfield. Let me just throw it at his feet and call it a day.
Fan of the Patriots, there should be no surprise here. You see what the jersey is, you see what the hat is.
Mr.
That's
Pat
the type of stuff
here
that we want to see from the quarterback. We want to see making the smart play. So I'm all for it. I know it's going to be a tough ride. For half of my life, all I've known is victory and success with the Patriots. A bad year to us was making it to the AFC conference game and lose. Like, oh man, every other year was expectations of Super Bowl or better. And so moving forward, it's understood that it's going to be a tough ride. But right now I'm on board with the kid.
Okay. Now, I'm not going to lie. Listen, just being in Boston, you know what? So let me ask you this. Do I owe Patriot Nation an apology? Because you know how adamant I was against starting Drake May. And it was not going to be good for him. It was going to be detrimental. It was going to be like David Carr. Because Derek Carr is the one in the Saints right now, the older brother. David Carr. It was going to be David Carr all over again. It was going to be Andrew Luck all over again. Not to say he's as good as Andrew Luck. His ceiling maybe or whatever. Andrew Luck was pretty good. But just saying like how they ruined that man's career. He retired early. David Carr never even saw half of what his potential could have been. So it's like, that's what I thought was going to happen. And ironically enough, that is not what's happened at all.
Oh, it's only been 2 weeks. So let's put a pin in that for a little bit longer. However, in the 2 weeks, we've seen enough to where optimism should be trending up. If this was a stock, I'm buying it right now. I'm going to buy it and hang on to it and see what happens after, 6 months, 12 months. But I'm buying the stock. He's trending up.
Okay. So let's take a look here. So what games? Wait, anything else you want to say for the Patriots before we move on?
No, that's it. The May era has started. It's underway 2 weeks in. It's what we expected, and it's looking bright.
I will say this. The one thing I will say is the defense is really letting me down. Trevor Lawrence was washed for the past 2 weeks. People are saying the contract was horrible and everything like that. This week, he was like, don't write me off yet. I'm still Trevor Lawrence. I'm still the prince that has been promised. All right? What do you have to say about your defense? Is it more the defense really didn't show up, or was it more Trevor Lawrence stepping up?
I'm gonna give them a pass for this week, just because they've been taxed this season. There are a couple of games that we've lost that we should have won that they kept us in. So we're gonna give them a bye for this week. If this happens again next week, then we should start getting worried.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you mentioned something where you're talking about the first European team for the NFL.
Listen, here's my case. Of all the 32 NFL teams, the Jags have played over in London 11 times. I can't remember what the next closest team is.
No, they are London's second team. They are.
Well, we should start calling them the London Jaguars.
Okay, so
I think it's inevitable the NFL is going to end up in London. I can't wait to see what it ends up looking like.
It's not going to be for another 15 years.
You think that far out?
Because here's the thing, right? If you're going to have a London team, there was a few things that would need to be done. First, I think they would need to split their season up, right? And let's just say if we upgrade to 18 games, because right now we're at 17. By the time we get a European team, I believe we'll be at 18 games this season. There would have to be 9 home games and 9 away games, right?
Okay.
They would have to do 5 road games in America, then 5 road games in London straight. Because you can't have them going like home, away, home, away, away, away. You need to give them like all away games for at least like a month or whatnot. They would need to, honestly, their home away from home in America should be Oakland, so they could practice the old Raiders facility, the old Raiders field, and everything like that. Because they would need asking them to fly from London to the West Coast this week, and the next week is going to be back to London to fly again to Mountain Time Zone. Like, let's say if they had to play Denver or something. It's
from a competitive standpoint, it's taxing.
So you'd have to give them a home away from home. That's the first part. The second part would be, and this is where I am. This is where I stand on it. I love NFL's 4x4. 4 divisions, 4 teams in each conference. 4 divisions in each conference. Wait, how's it? 4 teams in each division. No, is it? Yeah, 4 teams in each division and 4 divisions in each conference. You can't just add 1 team. I know you can, because ain't nothing gonna stop you once the money's coming in. But like, you have your division. Division games are important. That's where I believe the NBA has really got it all messed up. There's a lot of NBA games, and I love the fact that there's honestly almost every night you can find a game to watch if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But Patriots playing the Knicks, they're in the same division, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. In the NFL, you play your division twice. That carries weight. Because NFL coaches
and they recently switched it to where you play your divisional team in the beginning of the season and at the end of the season, and sandwiched in between is
everyone else.
Conference you're playing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because also a division game, a win in your division is like 2 wins. Because not only did you win, you also forced your division person to get a loss. So, like, for example, right now, let's say if my Steelers were supposed to play the Ravens, we're both tied for first right now. If my Steelers played the Ravens today and we won, not only are we now 5-2, but the Ravens are now 4-3. And in a tiebreaker, we got that.
Mm.
You see how much weight is in a division?
Yeah,
game?
It's less impactful in the NBA. I see what you're saying.
So and also it's not just because of that. It's also because it's just 82 games in a season. That's like that one game may not really make that big of a difference. You know what I mean? Like if the NFL had 82 games, the Bengals would still have a chance right now.
There's less parity in the NBA than there is in the NFL.
Okay. So if we were to add a team in Europe, I feel like we would need a division for them. It's either that or we add. I don't even know how you would need to add, I feel like 4 teams, at minimum 4 teams.
I think at a minimum, they'd probably go 2, one AFC and one NFC team, just to keep some type of
Okay, so then if
balance.
you do that, so one division is going to have 5 teams in it?
And then that's going to impact schedule making to make sure that all these teams play. Yeah.
Technically, okay, I said 4, minimum 4, but realistically, you need 8 to add 1 to each
4 in
division.
each division.
Yeah. So where are your 8 teams going to be? And I think that's what the NFL is trying to find out right now. That's why they had the game in Brazil. They've had a game in Mexico.
They've done Germany a few times.
Germany, London. That's 4 countries.
2 teams a country.
So what type of expansion? Okay, so I love fantasy drafts, right? Not just fantasy football. I mean like fantasy drafts, like when I play Madden or 2K, like blow it all up and just everyone draft your team again. And a lot of teams would really profit from that right now, i.e. the Raiders. The Raiders would be like, word, start it up. The Panthers, start it up. Let's go. If we were to do 8 teams, there would have to be an expansion. And the last sport, I believe, to do an expansion was hockey, I believe.
Yeah, they have the Las Vegas Knights. The Vegas Knights.
Yeah, and that was like 3 years ago or something like that, right?
I know it's relatively new. I can't put a finger on the time frame.
When they did that, they did expansion. That's when I found out all the rules about expansion teams, where every team was able to protect a set number of players on their team, and then everybody else is free game, and then you had a whole draft or whatever. I want you to let's say if you had, let's say 6. Let's say if each NFL team had 6 protected players. Your Patriots, who would you protect?
6?
6. Yo, because think about it. You know the NFL, it'd be a week-long draft. It would be a week-long draft. Are you serious? I would love to see it. They would love to do it. 1 week of non-stop drafting. They would run the news cycle. Don't call it ESPN no more. It's like NFL Network would be running TV at that point. But what 6 players would you pick on the Patriots to protect? And I'm going to think of mine right now. Actually, you want me to go first?
I could think of 3 off the top of my head. We'd start with Drake May. Christian Gonzalez, the quarterback.
Okay, so you would say Drake May because you don't think any good quarterbacks not being protected is what you're saying.
Yeah, you want to protect anyone that has a significant enough upside.
But if you were to think that no great quarterbacks were going to be protected, do you need to waste yours to protect Drake May?
I don't want to roll the dice that they listen. If we lose Drake May right now, where are we?
Jacoby Brissett. We saw it for 4 weeks.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna protect Drake May, Ramondre Stevenson, Christian Gonzalez.
You keep it Ramondre. The way the NFL
needs
teams
some
don't
type of
value
running
backs
game
right now, the way NFL teams don't value running backs, I think Ramondre would be safe. You don't have to worry about that.
Well, look at the rest of the team. I mean, most of the other players on the team can go. Offensively, we don't know enough about our wide receivers to determine which of them are worthy of being protected. On the defensive side, maybe Christian Barmore, defensive tackle. He's injured and out right now, but he looks pretty promising. So maybe that's 4. Do you keep a tight end around for the kid, little weapon?
No, Hunter Henry. No. Hunter
the other option would be Austin Hooper.
No, you're good. No. I think
that's a relatively young core there. Ramondre Stevenson's probably the oldest guy on that squad. That's all young, promising players.
No offensive lineman?
Who? Our offensive line's
Your
is
center,
not the best.
The one that just got hurt this year. He's always
Andrews, David Andrews. Mm-hmm. But he's a seasoned. You know what? Yeah, he would be worth a kid. Good call. There's an offensive lineman. He's a Pro Bowler, I think. He's respected in the league. Let's say that.
No. Yeah, no, he is Pro Bowler. People do respect him. I'm trying to think, is there anyone else on the Patriots? Oh, Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah, I said that. Cornerback.
Oh, you did? Okay. I didn't catch that.
So there you go. Your center, Andrews, quarterback, May, running back, Stevenson, Christian Gonzalez, Christian Barmore, the defensive tackle, and
You can
And
keep
that's
up
the
to 6.
problem.
You don't have to keep 6. They probably keep their kicker to keep it. So for the Steelers, obviously T.J. Watt.
That's a given. Yeah.
Okay. Not our quarterbacks apparently, and we'll get into that later. Not Najee. I don't
Really?
know if I really. We would keep Cameron Hayward.
How old is Cameron Hayward?
He's old, but he got 2 more years. He got to retire Steeler. Like if we kept T.J. Watt, Cameron Hayward, Minka Fitzpatrick, Joey Porter Jr., that's 4 right there. I don't know if we want to keep Patrick Queen.
You know why you wouldn't necessarily consider? Now, I get what you're saying. Cameron Hayward, retired Steelers fan. Some NFL teams could use this as an opportunity to kind of clear up some contracts that could potentially be costly for them and give them room to start over now. You don't think that he would be one of those type players?
As much as that is true, I'm thinking the rules of this would end up being their contract must be honored. Right? So then how many teams when you're drafting Cameron Hayward, the age is one thing, but then that contract is another. You know what I mean? So get it off.
And I don't know what his contract looks like. He could have a very, very good, very team-friendly contract right now.
He just restructured this year to be extended for another 2 more years. It is a little friendly in my opinion, but he got what he deserved. He got his.
How often do you hear that about NFL players? Yeah, he got what he deserved.
No. Listen. He could have gotten more. His thing was honestly, he doesn't get all the recognition that he deserves. He doesn't get recognition of being honestly, I believe he's like one of the top 3 D tackles in the league, all fandom aside. His numbers are up there. But the thing is, it's like with every other Steelers player. T.J. Watt should have been Defensive Player of the Year 4 times by now, but he doesn't get the recognition for. There was one year he literally almost broke the sack record, and he still didn't get Defensive Player of the Year that year. Like, I don't know. There's just something about Steelers players in the national recognition that they don't get. I don't know. There's just something weird about that. On the offensive side, I would say we keep Pickens. That would be 5. And our rookie center. As much as I want to keep Freiermuth. All right, if I don't keep Cam Hayward, I'm keeping the tight end, Freiermuth. George Pickens and Freiermuth. T.J. Watt, Joey Porter Jr., Minka Fitzpatrick. That's 5. Oh, I can still keep. Yeah. Oh, and the rookie offensive lineman. 3 on defense, 3 on offense.
So you're going 6. Okay, yeah. Okay.
You know what? We should record a video where I do AFC and you do NFC. And we do 6 players. NFL full draft. We're not going to go to 53-man rosters. We're just going to go with the 45 that got to suit up every week.
Do it on Madden or something?
Nah. We'll do like a whole draft board and everything, like ourselves.
Oh.
Yeah. That'll be interesting. And the thing is, when you do it that way too, there's a lot of players that you would think about that would not be drafted. Like, okay, for example, Calvin Ridley, for example, might not even get drafted again.
What is this? What's the issue with Ridley? Where is he right now? Isn't he in Atlanta?
His issue is Will Levis. Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee. Okay.
Yeah. No, that quarterback. Yo, listen, I didn't think you could find a quarterback worse than Nathan Peterman. Will Levis said, "Hold my beer."
Because you know what? The Patriots were in discussions at one point looking at Calvin Ridley. They wanted, hey, go get the kid a weapon.
I don't know if you saw this, but in the interview last week, post game interview, they're like, "What can you do to make to utilize your 8 targets better?" And then he looked at the person and was like, "I was throwing the ball 8 times." And then they looked at the stat sheet like, "Yeah, you got 8 targets." So then they after someone put a compilation of all his targets. I understand why he said they threw the ball to me 8 times. A lot of times it really wasn't to him. Like it was to him, but it wasn't to him. There was 2 that was definitely to him. He said he thought he had like 3 targets. It was actually 8, and the other 5, 2 of them were dropped, one of them was caught, but another one was like 10 yards over his head that he probably thought was a DeAndre Hopkins down the field. I was like, that's not to me. Like, what are you talking about? Another one went out of bounds. It wasn't a throwaway. But it looked like a throwaway. So it was his. It was actually pretty funny seeing that interaction. Will Levis is the Titans are in the remember how I said Shador Sanders for the Ravens? Mm-hmm. We might have to not Ravens, the Raiders. We might have to look at him going to Tennessee. That might be the move now because they're about to get the number 1 pick.
Hold on, the Patriots lost today. They are 1-5.
You ain't drafted no quarterback.
Oh, that's true. Oh, okay, so what would you think? They'd end up with the top 3 pick. Who's worse than them? What's Jacksonville? I can't think of what Jacksonville's record is. Well, they won today.
Now
so
today they are 2-5.
I can't, and I don't mean to go back to the Patriots. This was the game that I had them winning. This was a winnable game. Trevor Lawrence looked like the second coming today.
Yo, listen.
But anyway,
no, it was a winnable game. It should have been a 1 game, not winnable. It should have been a win. It started really good, and then they answered with 25 unanswered points.
That's why I think the defense is just a bit gassed and could use a break and use an offense that could spend some time on the field.
Because the offense did its job the first quarter.
No, the offense did its job. That's why I said the defense they need a break. They need an offense to at least stay on the field longer. Keep them off the field. Oh, and Calvin Ridley is down.
Word? Hold on, let me make sure I cancel the trade request I sent in. I tried trading Keon Coleman for Calvin Ridley, and the person said, "Why would you give me trash?" And I'm like, "And Calvin Ridley's not trash?" Saquon Barkley starting. All right, let me just make sure that trade got rescinded. Okay.
I'm just
So speaking of the Raiders getting Shador Sanders, which would be, oh my gosh. Can you imagine? Okay, hold on. Let me ask you this. Because both of Deion Sanders' sons are being drafted this year, right? Shador's being drafted, and Shiloh's getting drafted as well, I believe. He's eligible to be drafted this year, right?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I know they both have NFL
as
aspirations.
Bad as we think they are, and they're going to be, would Antonio Pierce get fired?
Hey, there's a new regime taking over in Oakland. I heard this week that Tom Brady's group was approved for their purchase, and that's going to be moving forward.
He's a minority owner.
I would assume that once that goes through, there are probably sweeping changes coming to the Raiders, and so yeah, the his job's not secure.
So, Coach Prime moving to the NFL to coach his son in Las Vegas Raiders.
Wow.
In Las Vegas. Yo, listen, if you ever need marketability, that's all the marketability
Prime
you
is
need.
the man. You can't go wrong with Prime.
You not only Prime with his son, father and son in the NFL. Would that be the first coach-player duo? Starting?
I can't think of any other. That'd be amazing.
That would be fire. Yo.
I don't see Prime leaving Colorado yet, though. I think he's on somewhat of a mission, something to prove.
He wasn't leave Jackson State, but then he's like, the money said differently. The NFL, listen, the Raiders should want to throw the bag because honestly, right now you have nothing to show for your team. You really have nothing.
couple years ago, they were looking promising. They got Devontae Adams. Carr was still there, and then here
Listen,
we are.
Prime himself. Look at what Prime did for Colorado State in marketability. What do you think he can do on the NFL level? Everyone knows Prime. The players respect Prime. I don't know if necessarily other coaches respect Prime, but yo,
Like anything else, he would build the right staff.
and that is true. He definitely would build the right staff, but that is definitely something that could. Hey, yo, listen, you heard it here first. Seen that? Yeah.
They can be like, no, I heard that. I didn't see it. I heard that.
Oh, you heard? Oh, my fault. Watch the video. Watch us live. You'll see that then.
What are you going to think of the Buffalo Bills if they lose to the Tennessee Titans today?
What's the score? I'm not watching the game right now. What's the score?
Nearly the end of the first quarter. Tennessee's driving. They're in the red zone.
Tied 0-0 something?
Yep. Tied 0-0.
Listen, the Buffalo Bills are an enigma, but I won't think too bad of them because of the AFC East and its current status.
Speaking of the Buffalo Bills, they did trade for and they landed Amari Cooper this week.
That's the thing. So it would take about 4 weeks for him to get up to snuff with Josh Allen, I think. I think you really won't hear Amari Cooper really like balling with Josh Allen until probably like week 11, week 12, or whenever their bye is. Their bye is definitely going to help speed that up.
Josh Allen has consistently had monster month of November or December. I think it's December.
September.
I think it's December.
No,
is it September? He's usually
September.
You sure?
Great. Yeah, I watch First Things First. September banners.
Okay, all right, then there you go. Okay.
If you give him 4 or 5 weeks to gel with Amari Cooper, even if they lose this game, they're still going to be in it for the AFC East because no one's running away with it. Shoot, the Patriots could still win the AFC East right now if Drake May gets into a groove. What's the Patriots record right now?
1-5.
Oh, never mind. They're out. Miami is what? 2?
They should
got
be
2 wins. They got a win against the Patriots and a win the first week. So they definitely got like 2 wins. Like, if Buffalo loses today, it really depends on what Tua does next week. Because Tua is supposed to be back next week.
Excuse me. The Patriots are 1-6.
Mm-hmm.
Miami's 2-3, and the Jets are 2-4.
And the Bills are?
So even if I'm sorry?
And the Bills? What about the Bills?
4-2. So even if they lost today, they would still be atop of the AFC
Bills
East, which is
4-2?
wild to me.
Oh, damn. Yeah, so even if they lost today, but Miami might win today. You know what I mean? And
hey, I heard Tua started practicing. I don't know if I doubt he's playing today, but he's back practicing.
No, he can't. He's still on IR. He can't practice. Yo, okay. Ooh, we've had some viewers. Okay. So, okay, back to the Bills. My fault. I got distracted there. That water tasted really, really good. Refreshing.
The AFC East is trash. It really is.
So.
It's in really bad
because
shape.
Of that the Bills can practice their way into the playoffs. Because even before Tua left, for that 1.5 games that he was healthy for, the Dolphins did not look good. You could say all you want about it being the first week of the season. The Bills were running roughshod over them. It was like throwing the towel. You know what I mean? The AFC East is the Bills to lose.
You don't see any major improvement happening with the Jets. They just got Devontae Adams. Oh, Hassan Reddick ended his holdout. Their defense is going to get a shot in the arm. So is their offense. It's going to come down to either the Bills or the Jets for the AFC East. But neither one of these teams that do I really respect as a legitimate Super Bowl contender type thing.
Can I be honest with you? I saw the Jets when they lost to who they play last week. Who was it last week that they lost to? That
it was an ugly game. They weren't supposed to lose it. It was a Thursday night game. Well,
yeah, whoever they lost to, I was watching that game. They were not a wide receiver away. Aaron Rodgers is already dinged up. Okay, he wasn't mobile before. It was not mobile off the ACL. Was it Achilles? He wasn't mobile off the Achilles injury, and he for damn sure isn't mobile now because almost every time he gets hit, he be crawling on all fours like, oh.
They lost to the Bills last week.
Like, what? You want me to believe in that? He's
no, but if you look at their season, they've been in every single game that they've lost. They haven't lost only week 1, 32-19. Every other game has been, every other game that they've lost, they've been within a touchdown or less.
Hold on. Let me take a look at their schedule real quick, and then we could talk about that. Jets sucks. I learned that one from the Dolphins people at the game a few weeks ago. All right, so they beat the Titans. Nothing to brag about. They lost to the 49ers. It happened.
Expected.
Yep.
They shouldn't have lost to Denver.
Broncos is a really good defense. So holding them to 9, I'm not going to hold that against Aaron Rodgers. Broncos defense is actually really, really, really good. Spencer Rattler made them look even better last Thursday, but they're a really good defense. They lost to the Vikings 23-17. That was in London. If I'm not mistaken, right? That was the London game. That was the one that was early in the morning.
Yep.
The Vikings defense is good. I just don't know how I feel about. I don't know. Like, okay, so what? You're expecting Devontae Adams to add a touchdown to every game?
I'm expecting him to help open up their offense a little bit because I think if you adding Devontae Adams with Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, Aaron Rodgers is just going to have more weapons available to him. And I believe he's still a decent and above average decision maker in the NFL. Mm-hmm. So I think he should be able to get something going.
But the issue is the offensive line is not protecting Aaron Rodgers. I don't care what's going on up here. He doesn't have 3 seconds to pass. And when you remember,
he needs to start getting the ball out quicker, doesn't he? He needs to start getting the ball out.
You remember him with Devontae Adams? He would scramble out the pocket. He would be holding it, tapping that ball, waiting for someone to scramble drill. He's not scramble drilling anymore. You know what I mean? My God, this Texans Packers game is getting physical. There was a fight before the game. During the warm-ups or whatnot, a fight broke out, and then they had to break it up. And then these tackles are literally WWE moves. They're suplexing each other like crazy, wrapping up and throwing people down. I don't know what they were saying pregame, but this game is personal. Love to see.
They say they're not even in they don't play each other annually. What would be the issue between Green Bay and Houston?
It has to be a player thing. Did a former Packers go to or vice versa, go to the Texans or vice versa? Maybe. I don't know.
Or someone's dating somebody's baby mama now.
Speaking of, I don't know if you saw this clip, but Anthony Edwards bumped. This is the one thing I don't understand with celebrities. Someone explained it to me, and I just don't. And I'm not only celebrities, but like athletes. They pass the same women around over and over and over again. And someone told me it's because these women understand their roles or whatever. But here's my issue. Like, so what happened was Anthony Edwards bumped into Little Baby, who Anthony Edwards just got Little Baby's first baby mama pregnant. And I'm just like,
Yeah, I saw that online.
and I'm like, yo, why? Like, I don't know. That's just like, in my dream, be the same ones over and over and over again. Like, it's like she got like what her
Nope, I'm with
kids
you.
literally are a bunch of different, like, not that one, but I mean, like, some of these women's kids have fathers in multiple professional sports making millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yep,
Man.
I'm with you. You hit it big. You go to some town of 2,000 in the middle of nowhere to find your bride to be. Call it a day.
Yo, listen.
She's never
You wanna
heard
move
of
to the
any
city?
of you guys. Never been around you guys.
Yo, because wasn't it? It was Rick Ross. I think it was Rick Ross who wanted to marry somebody, and then found out that she was messing around with Meek Mill first.
Ugh,
Like, what?
eh,
And then the
life.
thing was like, oh, should Meek? It might be Meek or might have been Wale. Oh, should Meek have told Rick Ross beforehand? Yes, yes. Because if I'm gonna bring her around you, and y'all been no, 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 no. Nah. Anyway, I don't even know how we got to that point. Anyway, so
Hey, as we look down the rest of the Jets schedule,
that's what I was doing. They should beat the
it's
Patriots.
pretty. I don't want to say pretty easy, but it's You don't have any real threats on the remaining on the schedule here.
No, they do. They got the Texans. Okay, so let's look at the remaining games. Patriots, they should win. The defense I saw today was not it.
Let's just not skip over the fact that they should win against the Steelers. Before that,
They're not going to win against
Week
the
se-
Steelers tonight. TJ Watt finna have 4 sacks. Aaron Rodgers is a statue in that pocket. I'm telling you, tonight you're going to hear the name. You're going to hear the name Joey Porter Jr. so damn much tonight. All right? All fandom aside, you're going to hear that name a lot tonight.
All right, so we'll give that loss to the Steelers. They should win against the Patriots.
Based off the defense today. Unless the defense somehow was like, oh, we're jet lagged.
And so I take it you're going to give the Texans the win after that.
Oh, yeah. Texans definitely.
Okay. Then they should win against Arizona and Indianapolis.
Yes, yes.
Seahawks.
Oh, hold on. Caveat on the Colts. If Joe Flacco's starting, the Colts got it. Okay.
Flacco's still in the league.
Seahawks. I'm not a believer in the Seahawks, but a lot of people are telling me I'm just being harsh on them.
I'm not convinced either. I've heard a lot of good things all season long. Time will tell.
Okay.
Miami, Tua might be starting for that game.
Back, and it's going to be in Miami, so they should be good. The Jaguars, do you think today's win spurred something in them?
No. This is what always happens with the Jaguars. They play a team, they look good, everyone hops on board, and then next week Trevor Lawrence comes out and throws 3 picks and 3 touchdowns and 3 picks, and we're wondering what happened.
Okay, I'm gonna skip over the Rams right now because I want to talk to you about them real quick. The Bills should be all like at that point, all what's the saying? Firing on all cylinders. So the Bills gonna get that win, and the Dolphins gonna get that win. So that's another 2 losses right there. So I saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more losses in their records. So 8 and 10 is what I'm calling for.
Is 8 wins gonna make you a wild card team?
Not in the
AFC.
Not in the AFC.
No.
It's not. Now here's the Rams. I will have them beating the Rams, but I want to talk to you about them because it looks like the Rams are about to blow it up and start over.
They have to. They sold their soul to win a Super Bowl, which they did. And now you have to start planning long term.
Cooper Kupp's on the trade block.
Isn't he coming back from injury either this week or next week?
Yeah, and they've been shopping him around. Cooper Kupp would be
that'd be a nice addition to any
team would be great for it, but that would be a great addition for the Patriots. As much as I would love him for my Steelers, he really, because that veteran in the locker room, because you got a lot of young receivers there. Polk, Booty, and Demario Douglas. with
Douglas. Yep.
Drake May. Oh, that would
Yep.
be.
That might be the move they're waiting on. Listen, I'd throw a couple of draft picks his way. You're right. Bring someone solid into the draft, into the locker room, help
How much did
develop these
Devontae Adams
guys.
go for? A third conditional two,
Third round draft
conditional
pick,
third.
which was nuts to me.
Okay, so if the
And if you
Patriots were to give a conditional third,
that could become a second based on performances and
based on him playing the rest of the season, because right now it's just been injury. It's been the past 2 years have been injuries with Cooper Kupp. But yeah, no. So Cooper Kupp's on the block. I guess Matthew Stafford is kind of on the block, but no one's gonna trade for him.
yeah, he's at the end. He's got a super. He put in all those years in Detroit. He got a Super Bowl with the Rams.
They might just shut him down because I believe they got a rookie behind him. Not a rookie. I think he's a second year. So,
Listen,
yeah,
he's had a career. He's done it.
Yeah, you're gonna want to shut him down just to see what's going on next. I think cut him at the end of the year, let him be a free agent. If Matthew Stafford was a free agent, where's he going? Carolina? No, he wouldn't want to go there.
No, he's gonna get killed in Carolina. Good question. Who's the team? Who's it? The Saints. Who is Geno Smith? No, Geno Smith is with the Seahawks. Who's starting for the Saints?
Derek Carr, and they can't cut him. $60 million dead cap if they cut him next year. I don't understand how. Listen. Derek Carr, go ahead. Ooh, and then we'll talk about Derek Carr's contract in the Saints. I'm gonna read you a tweet from Nick Wright, but go ahead.
What they No, this is outlandish, but they swap quarterback for quarterback. Deshaun Watson for Stafford.
Oh, Deshaun Watson. Amon-Ra St. Brown is down, I think. Oh wait, no, he got back up. Matthew Stafford on the Browns. Nah, but
no, it would likely not work because the Browns are, with the fact that they just gave up Amari Cooper,
the fact that if they did
rebuild.
not give up Amari Cooper, they could have traded for Matthew Stafford. Give Deshaun Watson, honestly. Okay, so in this what if hypothetical, I've been playing Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and there's a lot of what ifs, which lovely storylines, and I can talk to you about that in a bit. If you were the owner of the Browns, which trade would you have done? Amari Cooper, the trade that happened for Amari Cooper to the Bills, or Deshaun Watson and a sixth for Matthew Stafford and a fifth?
I would have brought in Matthew Stafford because I think the Browns kind of have some semblance of some pieces
based
around.
Off of last year. Based off of last year. Like,
correct, yeah.
Listen, and as much as I like Deshaun Watson when he was in Houston, I don't know. And, there's reports coming out about the additional allegations against him and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And another report came out soon after saying that he's literally been like in therapy or whatnot, trying to mentally cope because he's like, his play has gone down. And then he's just like, these women are not leaving me alone. Like, this thing is never ending. So I could understand how that could be impacting his brain. I just wonder, like, is Deshaun Watson over, or is it really just a mental block with everything that's going on in his life? And honestly,
he doesn't look the same. And I mean,
really care. To be honest, as an organization, I don't really care at this point. I'm paying you to get shit done, and you're not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
What's your take?
No, like I said, I think the experiment is over. Unfortunately, he was the first quarterback to get that type of money guaranteed, and he came with all these distractions, and it appears that the situation is still not over. It might be best, and granted, and he needs to get his legal situation behind him so he can focus exclusively on the sport that he's being compensated to focus on. But if in a perfect world, hypothetical world, yeah, I would have swapped him and Stafford, give him somewhere else to go start new, bring Stafford in, and based on the team's performance last year, maybe they sneak in as a wild card and Stafford's experience mixed with the weapons that they do have, see where that takes you. Because they've got some players over there. Garrett, what's his face? The end,
No. Oh,
the
Miles
defensive
Garrett.
end on the Brown.
Miles Garrett.
There you go, Miles Garrett. They've got a decent tight end and Njoku. They have the running game. The Browns were set up to be the next contending team for the next few years. It's just unfortunate how everything has worked out with just Deshaun Watson.
Literally, like honestly, it's a shame. It's a shame. So earlier you were talking some trash about my Steelers losing hypothetically to the Jets.
You don't even know which quarterback is going to be starting today for your team.
Russell
So
Wilson. We know who it is. It's Russell Wilson. Okay, I'm gonna stand on the soapbox real quick because I want to get all of this out and then
the floor is yours.
Tell me what you think. So first, I do have a friend who says, one of my friends, AJ from he was on the draft live stream. He was like, you have to see what Russell Wilson is. You have to. Okay. I agree with that, but also in a different setting, in a different type of sense. Justin Fields has gotten better every week as the season has gone on. Yes, he did go on a 2-game losing streak. I get it. But he's gotten better. But he hasn't been good enough. He's been good enough to win, but not good enough. He's missed some open reads. I'm not even going to talk about accuracy because accuracy is here and go. He's not always inaccurate where it's an issue to be concerned about. You know what I mean? But it's, like it's a little extra touch on the pass can go a long way. But I'm not going to hold that against you because I'm not expecting any quarterback to be 100% accurate every single time. Okay? He's missed open reads. There was a few games when I was watching him against the Raiders last week where I'm like, I don't even see the full 22, but I see him forcing the ball to George Pickens in double coverage. And I've just been wondering, like, why that pass? Why him? Why there? But anyway, I wasn't really sure. Then when I saw the all 22, there was other people open because if you are double teaming, then somebody's open, and he was just forcing it to George Pickens. Now, is it because George Pickens been, I don't want to say a diva, but, the wide receiver, he actually had some eye paint the other day saying, I'm always effing open, yada, yada, yada. So I don't know if there's like some sort of dissension in the locker room because we know Tomlin is good at having dissension in the locker room and nobody knows. Yo, listen, nobody knew about Antonio Brown, okay? Nobody. Like, this dude, he keeps his in-house really, really well. You know what I mean? So is there something going on in-house? Maybe, maybe not. We'll find out. But this path or this decision they're doing with Russell Wilson is the best because of this. You can tell Justin Fields, we're benching you because you still don't understand the playbook. Or, like you're not fully grasping your reads completely. That is a whole different thing where that if you need to start him later on, you can always be like, all right, cool. We think you got the playbook down now. Right? It's another thing when you bench a quarterback for saying you're not good enough. And then you have to go back to him later.
That's a good point.
If they said that we're benching,
I thought what you guys were originally going to do was going to start the season with Russell Wilson, allow him to play his way out of the starting role, and then just pass the baton over to Justin Fields and ride that out until.
And the thing is, Russell Wilson's been injured for the whole season, in preseason. He's been injured. So it gave Justin Fields a chance to really go up. And again, we haven't lost games because of Justin Fields' play, but we haven't won games of his play. So therefore, to say you have the excuse, right, to say it's a playbook issue. You're still learning this playbook and you still don't fully grasp it. Russell Wilson got a better handle on it. We can go there. Now you can put Russell Wilson in, and if he sucks, you can go back to Justin Fields. But let's say if you said, "Oh, Justin Fields, you're not good enough right now. You're playing bad quarterback play," and then Russell Wilson comes in, plays bad. You go back to Justin Fields after you just literally like
told him, "Hey, you weren't good enough.
You weren't good enough, but apparently you're better than the backup. So here you go." Like as a quarterback, one, it's personal. Two, the pride, and it's just like it's still saying that like you don't have me starting because you think I'm good enough. I'm just better than your other option. You know what I mean? So when you have it based off a playbook, if Russell Wilson doesn't play well, you can always come back and be like, "Hey, listen, Justin, you did understand the playbook, but you didn't play bad. So he's playing bad. He understands the playbook and plays bad. So if we're gonna weigh our two, we're gonna go with you, okay? Because you actually play good. We need you to learn the playbook quicker. That's like I just need you to learn this. It's not like I need you to play better. You can't tell the quarterback I need you to play better because when you say that, then it's like immediately like that's an insult. But to say like, yo, listen, it's your first year in the system. You don't know this playbook. You're in a whole different organization at that. It's not even like completely brand new. There's some hurdles that you have to overcome. And those hurdles are not about you. They're about the environment that you're in. That is always better for a quarterback to bounce back from that than you suck.
It's not you, it's us. It's
literally,
not you, it's
no,
us.
For real, that's what it is.
Them.
That's literally what it is.
Hey, kid, it's not you, it's us. We got this wrong.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not. What do you think?
They probably screwed this up, and they're trying to make the best of it. Wilson's going to start, hopefully play his way out, and then they're going to have to go back to the kid.
Only reason it got screwed up was because the Bears didn't want to trade Justin Fields sooner.
I think what screwed it up is Russell Wilson being injured and not starting the year off that way.
That's also another thing, but here's the issue, right? We signed Russell Wilson before we got Justin Fields. We tried trading for Justin Fields, but they wanted a second-round pick, and no one was giving a second-round pick for Justin Fields. We all knew you were getting rid of him. Why are we giving you a second-round pick? And then once we signed Russell Wilson, we said, yo, he's the starter. And then literally a week later, Justin Fields, his price went down to a 6th round because nobody else wanted him. And they're like, we cannot go into the season with both Justin Fields and Caleb. Can you imagine with how Caleb started this year? If Justin Fields was on the bench, because the fans didn't want Justin Fields gone. The players didn't want Justin Fields gone. The way Caleb Williams started, it would have been mutiny in that locker room.
Well, I think he played well out in London. They were at last week or something along those lines. So we'll see what happens with him.
As much as he played well, it's also who did you play?
Listen, sometimes you just need to beat up on a crappy team to kind of get your mojo back.
Word.
A get right game.
But not. He never had mojo to begin with. But okay. So yeah, no. So they traded him later, and it's kind of like because I believe if we had Justin Fields before, we never would have went for Russell Wilson. Why?
Veteran quarterback on staff, and you're not really paying his salary.
Fine, let me put it like this. You signed Russell Wilson to be the backup?
Yes, at this stage of his career, I think so.
No, but I mean like last year where he believes he was still a starter, you would have signed him as a backup because you'd have been like, Justin Fields is our future. We just traded for this man.
Correct. I'm not paying your. They have him on a relatively.
We never would have got Russell Wilson. We never would have got him.
You would have.
He did not want to be a backup. He wanted to be a starter.
Sometimes what we want and what reality is in life are, Because
then he would have just went to the Raiders.
Good point. Then Gardner Minshew would have been out of a job, or he would have been back up somewhere
Gardner
else.
Minshew would have been back where he belongs as a backup quarterback. He's a really good backup quarterback.
Yeah, he'll keep you afloat for a few games. He absolutely will.
He's not like it would have been the perfect. then Devontae Adams would have still been there.
Look at us changing the NFL around.
Yo, what if?
Yeah, exactly. What if the NFL edition?
Yo. Then the Jets would definitely just be crying over here, just sitting over here crying. Aaron Rodgers would still be throwing people under the bus about like you should have been on the red line. He wasn't on the red line. Wasn't where he's supposed to be.
Listen.
By the way, actually, I saw that, and then I saw some other players comment on it. Did Aaron Rodgers throw Mike Williams under the bus? Yes, but dude really was not in the right spot. But the thing is, the real question is like, why did you throw it? Once you seen that he was not in the right location, why did you still throw the ball? It wasn't fourth down.
Good question. Because what is it? His explanation was, well, he looked outside of his corner of his eye real quick and threw the ball, but then he realized he wasn't where he was supposed to be. It's
and
like,
then
well,
he readjusted the throw. Bring that ball back in.
No, time out. You know what? I'll give him a pass because we've all done this playing Madden. You pick a play. You pick who you're going to throw to before you look at the defense. You know, you pick, I'm throwing it to this guy right here. You snap the ball. There's cover. There's 3 people around him. What do? Throw the ball anyway and throw a pick. And then you sit there and say, damn it, why did I throw that? There were 3 other people open. I'll give him a pass.
We all play Madden like, oh, and I forced it. True, I was playing 2K last night and I made a pass. I was like, I could fit that over there. No, I couldn't. But guess what? I'm not
we've all done
millions to do that.
Bingo. That's the point. We do it for free. See, we messed up. We have to get paid to do that. He figured it out.
Ooh, what a touchdown.
The Bills are looking like they feel like playing some football now. They recently scored.
They're warming
Scores
up.
10-7.
They're warming up. I told you it's going. The Bills are going to be practicing. The same way Nick Wright says the Chiefs practice throughout the season, the Bills are going to be practicing throughout the season because they can afford to. They really do not have a great they're in an easy division. It's really just that simple. I'm sorry. It's just there's no other way to say it.
But you want to be you want to be building good habits throughout the course of the year. You don't want to rely on the fact that, hey, I play in a shitty division, so it's okay.
Yo. Okay, so speaking of Aaron Rodgers and him getting Devontae Adams, teams have called for Garrett Wilson trying to trade for him, seeing if he's available, and they said no.
I wonder if they're still thinking the same thing now. Well, I wonder if they're still thinking the same thing now.
The trade, ever since Devontae been there, they've been asking, like, is Garrett Wilson available? They said no, but Mike Williams is.
Hey, is it Mike Williams from the Saints?
Chargers.
Okay. Yeah, that's the right response if you're the Jets. No, we want the younger, more potential wide receiver. We got this guy over here, though. This guy? It would break our heart, but we could see him going.
We all thought that Garrett Wilson was going to be a Pro Bowl wide receiver this year with Aaron Rodgers because he's been really good with subpar quarterback play. Is it? Were you wrong about Garrett Wilson?
I don't know if we can accurately answer that question because of who his quarterback is. He has a grizzled veteran as a quarterback, and these quarterbacks are fickle people. If they don't feel that they're on the same page with you, they'll just move on, and you got to question whether or not he and Aaron Rodgers are putting in the work.
Aaron Rodgers will definitely do that. Yo, you know what? I don't vibe with you, bro.
Listen, I've seen it for 20 years with Tom Brady, okay? You can't get on the same page. He's not even looking your way. You're just out there running routes for the hell of it.
Cardio. It's all cardio. I'm making sure you don't get a heart attack.
All these great quarterbacks, you hear the same thing about them. Dan Marino, the John Elways of the world. Hey, you can't get on the page. They're gonna just move on. There are plenty of other weapons out there they could potentially throw to. So that being said, I think it's too soon to tell about him. It's really too soon, and it's unfortunate because if Aaron Rodgers is going to be on the
his
team,
fourth year, or is this is not his third year?
yeah. But look at who his quarterbacks have been: Sam Darnold, Zach Wilson. This you've got to get. I mean, what do you want the man to do? That's why we all had such high expectations for this year because we felt okay. Hey, he's got a legit quarterback now. We're going to get things in motion.
When was he drafted? 2022 draft. So this is his third year. Oh, that's wild. I feel like he's been here for more than 3 years.
So in 3 years, he probably got the tail end of Sam Darnold. He had Zach Wilson. Or no, he probably had Zach Wilson for both of those years.
No, he had Zach Wilson for both years. So that means his 5th-year option is coming up next year. You picking it up?
It all depends on who the quarterback is. If he can't get on the same page as Aaron Rodgers, you try to pick it up and trade him, sign and trade, do sign and trade.
You don't see that too much in the NFL, a sign and trade. You mostly see it in the NBA. By the way, NBA is back this week. Who you got making this the finals?
Believe it or not, well, my obvious pick is going to be the Celtics. I'm a Celtics fan. I'm going to be going to Celtics games. I think Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown both have something to prove. They left Jaylen Brown off of the Olympic team. They added Jason Tatum to the Olympic team only to have him serve as bench warmer. I mean, this is a guy who's coming off a championship. He's the face of his team and probably one of the faces of the NBA right now, just warming up the bench. So I think those two guys have something to prove. I think everybody else on the team is settled or settling into their role. The only thing that could really derail the Celtics this year is some type of internal turmoil, where instead of continuing to play as a team, these guys start focusing more on individual stats and start chasing that.
That is not a bad take. That is not a bad take at all. And to that point, I have to ask you, do you think that actually may happen? Because the seeds have been planted. Jaylen Brown winning Finals MVP. Jaylen Brown not going to the Olympics, but Jason Tatum did, just for him to not be used. The seeds have been planted. Do you think it can happen?
I think long term, Jaylen Brown is probably eventually going to end up on another team. Purely because they've all listen, personally, I would love for them to stay together and be the next duo to dominate the NBA. It's just from what I've heard, reading articles, reading online, Jaylen Brown is probably going to eventually one day end up on his own team. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was Atlanta. Because I think the Celtics, given the choice between the two of them, you're probably going to keep Jason Tatum, who has a more complete all-around game than Jaylen Brown does.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the intangibles to get you to that promise, to the finish line. That's the issue.
You're going to, more likely than not, trade Jaylen Brown away to get a new Robin, for lack of a better description.
Okay, you saying Atlanta, I do understand Atlanta because he's from Atlanta and everything, and Atlanta would love to him. You put him with Trae Young would actually be a really good duo. Trae Young handle the scoring responsibilities, and I'm the all-around focal point, and you, Trae Young, just score, just ball. Like Trae Young, don't lead the team, just ball. I'll lead the team. Who's that big? Atlanta Hawks roster. Oh, whoops.
Capella? Clint Capella?
Is it Clint Capella still? Jalen Johnson, I think that's a rookie. And Clint Capella, yep. He's still there. Jalen Johnson was drafted this year, right? No, he wasn't. He's not a rookie. Hold on. When was he drafted? He was drafted 2020. Yo, okay, so they got Jalen Johnson and Clint Capella. I probably confused him with another Johnson. I know there's a rookie with another Johnson in there somewhere. And they got Larry Nance Jr. I didn't know he was still playing in the league. Okay, so what? You trade Jalen Johnson for Jalen Brown, and then you would end up having Trey Young, Jalen Brown,
Whoa! Why player for player?
Well,
they better put together a significantly better package.
Nah, draft picks as well.
Who else is on their team? Because see, we would have to take a look at their roster.
Like, what are you gonna do? Bogdanovich?
Hold on, didn't we? He wasn't he here?
No, he was never on the Celtics.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't here.
No, because I'm telling you right now, their roster is not great.
Well, looks like it's going to be a 3-team trade then.
It would have to be a 3-team trade. It would have to be a team.
Listen, Jalen Brown is a Finals MVP, NBA champion.
Oh, no, don't say that now, and then you're trying to trade him. No. Well, then keep him.
I'm more than happy to. Like I said, I think just the way that the NBA works these days, these two aren't going to necessarily stay together forever.
No, not with the. So I don't know if you've heard this report, but a lot of owners, they made a new. They changed the CBA to help to make people stay under the cap, right? But the thing is, these owners hate it. The owners and GMs hate it because it really the penalties. So you remember the Warriors? They used to say "F the cap." It don't matter. We'll figure it out. Because we're winning championships, so it more than evens it out. Like winning the championship, hosting the finals, the ticket sales and all that stuff, they make more than whatever the penalties was. Now the penalty is even more than if you've won the finals with that team. So doing all that stuff is no longer financially responsible. That's why the Celtics were up for sale. Because he's like, I can't afford to keep this roster together. I'm not paying the penalties on it. And once we trade it away, we're not winning finals. So what the hell am I doing here?
Hold on. Did everyone secretly notice what happened after they won the championship? Everybody on that team just got paid, and then they put the team up for sale. I think that might be a bit difficult because whereas most NBA teams, the team owns the building where they play, that's not the situation down at the Garden, okay? The Celtics are tenants in that building.
That's true. Yeah,
and so if I'm an investor...
it's also the Bruins are a tenant as well. Yo, TD Bank TD Bank can bank. Yo, why am I not getting more interest rate with a TD Bank account? What the heck?
Listen. So if I'm an investor, am I thinking about potentially, as much as it would be great to own the Boston Celtics, however, you have to look at this from the perspective of how am I going to make my money back if these guys aren't winning championships? Normally, if you own the building, hey, you own everything that comes with that. But when you don't, and you're a tenant, it's a bit different. I'm sure there are escalator clauses that say, hey, if and when you guys win the championship, hey, we expect a X, Y, and Z.
You think TD Bank doing that?
Yeah, it's business. It's not anything personal. You do well, I do well. We're a team, buddy.
Yo, what the hell? Exploitation, man. Exploitation. Okay, so but your final pick though.
So I got the Celtics, and then who do we have? We had I see. Well, Oklahoma Thunder, Celtics, Oklahoma Thunder. That's a wild, random-ish pick, but I like what the Oklahoma Thunder are doing. They managed to rebuild on the fly, and they have a pretty competitive team. These guys are all young. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's a baller.
Did they traded for somebody this year, right?
Now, I understand for that to happen, that means that both Dallas and the Denver Nuggets somehow they get past them somehow. But I like them as a young up-and-coming team.
The Nuggets are not making the finals this year. I don't think the Nuggets are making the finals this year again.
Who were you talking about when you said this? I think you said they. Oh, you were saying this about Dallas, how they didn't replace enough of what they lost. I think that's what Denver's gonna have. I can't
Yeah.
recall who they lost.
No, that's the
But
they. Let me take a look here. Hold on. I'm gonna take a look here and see if I can find it.
here we go.
Denver Nuggets roster. Off-season news. Off-season. Because they added freaking Russell Westbrook.
To the Nuggets, yeah.
Okay, so the Nuggets re-signed DeAndre Jordan. Yo, you know what? Good luck. Good luck to AI. So they've kept DeAndre Jordan. I don't know this other person, Kanker. They also signed Glade McLaughlin, Jalen Williams, and Jameer to be 1 year non-guaranteed contracts. They signed new players Dario Saric and Russell Westbrook. They drafted some players. I don't know too much about their draft class.
So the starters are still their starters are all there. Murray, Jokic, Aaron Gordon,
Brown though.
Michael Porter Jr.
They have those three. They lost Bruce Brown and Contavious Caldwell Pope.
Cadwell Pope's probably that's
yeah. So I'm not gonna lie to you, and this really is gonna sound wild to say, and I didn't think this would ever be the case. Hold on, before I give that opinion, let me just check on this one team.
DeAndre Jordan has been floating around the NBA for the past 3 to 5 years, just collecting checks.
Just chilling.
6'11", he's not getting the play that he probably should as a big man. But then again, I think the age of the traditional big man is virtually extinct in the NBA.
If you're not a stretch, then it's not even like honestly.
There you go.
It's Joel Embiid is the one who's really showed that, and honestly, Joel Embiid has really done pretty well. He is a big body center, the big man, prototypical big man, but he also he can stretch the floor a little bit.
He's the modern day big man that encompasses old school philosophies, if you will, the old school build. But he, as a big man, he looks like he would much prefer to stand out on the perimeter and shoot threes anyway. So, for example, if someone like a Shaq played today, I think that they would send him to the line a lot, but he would ultimately dominate. Oh,
he would.
Is this a turnover? Did the Tennessee Titans just get the ball back? Yes, they did.
Turn the ball over? What? Never thought that.
No, it was a fumble. Oh, no, it wasn't. Okay, nope, still Buffalo ball. They're driving 2 minutes before the half, down 10-7 to the Titans.
Honestly, I'm stuck between two teams. I don't think the Celtics are going to be able to make the finals this year. Not me.
Who comes out of the East if they don't?
I really like the moves the Knicks made. Remember, they added
Mikal Bridges. They added
Karl Anthony Towns.
You believe in Karl Anthony Towns?
I don't believe in Karl Anthony Towns, but I believe in Jalen Brunson, and they put him with Karl Anthony Towns. It's going to work. And also with the coach over there, he ain't got time for Cat to be soft.
Tibbs is a good coach. I like him. He's an old school.
Yeah.
Old school kind of coach.
He's like, oh, you being soft? Stay out there. You ain't getting off the. You're not getting off the goddamn court till you get me 3 blocks. That's the type of coach he is. And you got Josh Hart. Like, honestly, the Knicks are a really hard-nosed, physical team. Cat doesn't have time
didn't they just lose? Wasn't Josh Hart included in the trade out?
Was he?
He's gone.
No, not Josh Hart.
They sent DiVincenzo.
They sent DiVincenzo.
What's his face? Near the tall dude.
Harvenstein? No, he is. Whoa. Yeah, no, he's currently on the Knicks. He's still on the Knicks.
Who'd they sent out? They sent DiVincenzo and somebody else. The big man, he was injured.
It's
I
a
can't think. It
three-team
was.
trade. They sent Julius Randle.
Thank you, Julius Randle.
And he
Who they
wasn't
sent
there in the playoffs. He hasn't been there in the playoffs for the past 2 years. So honestly, you upgrade yourself with a person who's actually going to be there.
I like what I'm not going to front. I really like what the Knicks did. I also like what Philadelphia did. Believe it or not, bringing in Paul George. I don't know if I believe. I believe more in what the Knicks did than Philadelphia. Philadelphia is just. I don't know what.
Deshaun Watson
I
towards
get what they're
Achilles.
doing. Huh?
Deshaun Watson towards Achilles.
Who did?
Deshaun Watson.
Is this a blessing in disguise for Cleveland? The football gods have smiled on them.
Those words, but damn. Jameis Winston, Mr. 30 and 30 is back.
Just what I've read online is Jameis Winston is kind of the vocal leader of the team anyway.
Yeah. Deshaun Watson got way too much off the field issues to be the leader in the locker room right now.
The football gods are smiling down on the Cleveland Browns for some reason. Because truth be told, you know what? The football gods were giving the Cleveland Browns a chance, and then they went in and brought in Deshaun Watson, and that's when they're like, wait a minute, what? We've helped you get this far, and you want to go off and okay, wow. That's actually good for them. Sadly, you don't want a human being to be injured and miss out on the opportunity to perform at what he's worked so hard to do. But this is their opportunity to figure out what's next.
Very much so. Yo, that's wild.
Because of his contract situation, it's weird. I don't know that they would just cut him. But when you're a quarterback,
they can't. Even with and because of the injury, I'm pretty sure he has injury guarantees on there. They definitely can't cut him.
Then this is where you have to make the tough decision and buy him out. Make the tough decision. Don't peel the Band-Aid off slowly. Just pull the Band-Aid off.
The salary cap is still going to be there. The penalties for the cap is still going to be there. You can't do anything. So Achilles injury as a quarterback, he definitely done for the year. Should be gone. He's not going to be back in time for training camp.
Achilles, no, he isn't. Wasn't that what Aaron Rodgers had? Achilles,
yeah.
And he's younger than Aaron Rodgers, so you want to figure maybe he heals and what are we? Week 5? You're right. He won't be ready for the start of the year. He'd be ready maybe by this time next year, week 6, week 7.
Hold on, Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles week 1, and then he was in training camp in June, but he did some new.
He did that. Yeah, European treatment
and honestly, he hasn't been looking mobile this year at all, even before he started getting hit. So, okay, so back to things. So I don't see. I like
what the Knicks did. I like what Philadelphia did. Milwaukee. I don't know what's going on with Milwaukee because I for one thought that when they got Dame, that was going to boost them up, and it just hasn't worked yet.
Giannis didn't play in the playoffs last year. He was hurt.
Even
he literally
before
missed the entire playoffs.
I'm going to be honest with you. My issue with the Bucks isn't so much the Bucks, more so their coach. Doc Rivers isn't used to having a team with a superstar point guard. He's used to teams that are built around the big man. So I've questioned at times whether or not he even has plays for the point guard in his arsenal when you have a point guard like a Dame Lillard on your team.
All right, you want to hear who they lost? Malik Beasley.
Who lost?
The Milwaukee Bucks. This offseason.
Okay.
They only lost Malik Beasley and Pat Bev. So pretty much it's the same. The roster's back.
What did they finish last year? Do you remember? Do you have that there?
Let's take a look. Did they finish number 1?
No.
No. Okay, my fault. I was looking at the wrong year. Milwaukee finished number 3, 49 and 32.
49 and 32, and you didn't add anything to get better. Whereas both Philadelphia and the New York Knicks got better. And you can say Celtics, I don't want to say they got better, but they maintained status quo, and everybody is kind of knows what their role and whatnot is.
Here's the reason why I can't pick the 76ers, because it should be the 76ers. On paper, it should be the 76ers who makes the finals, to be honest with you. Here's the reason why I can't pick them. It's injury. Embiid already said he's not playing back-to-backs this year. I don't know if you saw that.
Which is wild to me. Actually, not only did I see that,
KG hate. I don't know if you saw KG talk about
that's
it.
where I was gonna go to you. Not only did I see that, I saw KG losing his mind on, like, he was like, wait a minute, 81 games is the job.
But here's the thing, though. Like, as much as I really want, I agree with what KG's saying, but honestly, at some point, you got to be like, his body can't handle it. You know who else can't handle an 82-game season? Kawhi Leonard. His body can't let him handle it. Now, for Kawhi Leonard, this is a different thing, right? We all know his body can't handle it. And all of us were like, when they gave him the extension last year, we all were like, really?
What are you doing? Is it so much that we know his body can't handle it, or is he's proven to be one of these fickle people that if he's not 100%, he's not going out there? There are plenty of NBA players that are playing at, say, 83%, 85%, knowing that they have a nagging injury. He's just proven to be.
The only time I've seen him not be 100% and still play is during the playoffs. During the regular season, he won't do that. And again, I know the NBA wants his players to play like almost every game in the season. Listen, and honestly, kudos to that is one thing, right? Because, okay, hold on. Let me sit up. Another soapbox moment. All right, let's go. So, generations in NBA is really, really hard to judge across generations. I know a lot of players now feel like they're way better. Let me go into position of defense. People are saying Michael Jordan is not the greatest because look who Michael Jordan was playing against. And they're pulling up like game footage from the 80s and early 90s. And yes, there was a lot of players who really didn't practice their craft like Jordan did, right? Not everyone was great. There are more talented players now than there were in the 80s and 90s in the NBA currently. You know what I mean? Like, you have the Hall of Fames from the 80s and 90s who Jordan played against. But then the role players, if you take the role players of then to the role players of now, the role players now are better. I will say that.
Whoa, okay, hold on. We're going to have this conversation because I saw something that broke this down.
Is Derek White better than Steve Kerr was back then?
Derek White might be the modern day version of what Steve Kerr was back then.
Modern version, but if you had Steve Kerr in his prime versus Derek White in his prime, who's going to win? It'd be Derek White.
Derek White, because he's more, well, we don't know. And that's the point. We don't know because while today's players are more athletic, the players of yesteryear, they had to work more at their craft. So they became
de facto.
Yes, they did. They had to.
Okay, all right.
It was harder to score.
It was harder to score back then because of the rules. And it was a much more physical sport.
Correct.
And I do believe if you were to take a player from today and put him back then, they're not scoring like as much as you want to say Kevin Durant would score like 50 points against the people back then. No, he wouldn't, because he doesn't even like getting hip checked. And LeBron
James would be today's player that you could probably drop back then because he's big and physical and could take that off.
He's really the only player you could really do that. Like, listen, Kevin Durant's a great player, top 50 of all time. If you're able to put a hand on him like you were able to back in the 80s and 90s, he would not. He'd be Steve Kerr.
Probably. That's probably a stretch, but yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, going across generations, right? players nowadays. So I'm gonna just take a quick tangent right here. I don't know if you remember, but we all. I used to play the Tony Hawk Underground way back when on PlayStation 2, whatever it was, and
Skateboarding game that I used to spend hours playing and doing the tricks. Yeah.
yeah.
So
And then I don't know if you remember, like in that game you could do a 900, but no one's able to do it in real life. Then Tony Hawk did the 900 for the first time, and if it was to happen modernly, it would have broke the internet. It was like, yo, this dude defying gravity. He's a Skywalker. Tony Hawk did what? And honestly, to this day, Tony Hawk is like the video game helped his fame and whatnot, but literally the 900 helped solidify it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like it's there. Last year, a 14-year-old kid did the 900 back to back on a half pipe. Something that was literally impossible to do about 15 years ago. A kid literally did it on a half pipe back to like nonstop. Just went 900, 900, and 900.
does that mean that? Do you think that means that he's better than Tony Hawk?
No, I don't think it means that he's better than Tony Hawk. It just means to show that as generations go on and there's more training and more, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, more blank is available to you to become better than your ancestors were.
More knowledge and information.
More knowledge, information, training, exercises, and all that stuff. And the same thing is applied to basketball players. Okay. So these players nowadays, I believe, are more athletic. Okay. And I do believe they're playing against more athletic people as well. And I do believe that the total of an 82 game season, they're like, oh, the old players, yeah, they did it, but they weren't playing against the type of competition we're playing against now.
And
right?
that's where
and again,
I
I don't like that excuse. I do not like that excuse because here's my counter to that. They did not have the salt baths that you have today.
They weren't traveling first class.
Exactly. So when they were playing
hotels.
82 games in a more physical sport with less medical help. So in that sense, they have a ground to say that you're kind of soft.
I mean, I get it. It's what they went through that made it possible today for these players to have chefs on hand and practice facilities that come masseuse, hot baths, cold baths, and all this stuff. But I can understand these older players that look at it and say, wait a minute, despite everything you have, you still now need to play fewer games throughout the course of a season?
Because it's too tiring?
Like, I was listening to stories online. I think it might have been on Gil's Arena or something along those lines, and they were talking about Kobe Bryant and how he would just go into the gym and run the same play over and over and over and over and over again to the point where it was nauseating. And they were explaining how the modern day NBA players, they're not necessarily doing that. They go into practice for the couple of hours they need to be there, getting their workout in, whether it be some cardio and weights, and then they're usually home and they're on the gram and they're doing whatever else that they have to do. And that's what irritates the older generation. It's, wait a minute, you know how much work we had to put in?
Yeah. And the thing is, without that older generation, and a lot of the, like, I know how, like, a lot of modern players hate the older generation because they feel like all they do is criticize you. Is part of it because of how much you're getting publicity-wise, money-wise, the contracts are way much bigger now. That I won't say that doesn't play a factor. But the other part that really plays a factor is how much y'all complain about what y'all want in addition to when they're like, we didn't get half the things you did. Like, okay, I get it. Charles Barkley never won a championship, and he's critical of Kevin Durant or James Harden. It's not that he's a James Harden hater or a Kevin Durant hater. He went through his lumps. He knows how it feels to not win a championship. He's been there. He made it out. And like, he's like, oh, Kevin Durant, is just a bus ride or whatever. And then Kevin Durant took that personally and was like, well, you didn't win anything either or whatever. Or you tried riding some buses. Okay, like
Listen,
honestly,
I'm old enough to remember Charles Barkley was a bus driver in his career. Okay, back in those Phoenix days, he was a bus driver, not a bus rider.
yo, but and then in the later end of his career, he ended up being a bus driver trying to get like a cheap championship. Again, not cheap, but an easier championship than most. But it's not so much like I know these players is defensive or whatnot, but I feel like since Chuck has been there, I don't know if I can really hate on what Chuck said. You know what I mean? Like, if I was to say that, you should have every reason to eviscerate me.
Oh,
Who the hell do you think you are? Chuck can literally be like, yeah, I didn't win a championship. I did try. And honestly, if I stayed in Phoenix, I might have won one.
I can't remember what happened in Phoenix.
I don't remember, and I'm making that up. But I'm just like, he really could have been like, I made a mistake trying to be a bus driver, and you're doing.
Oh no, you stupid. You know what happened to Charles Barkley? He ran into Michael Jordan, the Michael Jordan era. You remove Michael Jordan from that era, and there's so many other great players
who would have won,
who would be greater. Take Patrick Ewing, take Reggie Miller, take Charles Barkley. Karl Malone, Clyde Drexler. These are all players who, unfortunately, they played in the Michael Jordan era. Just like today, I'm certain you can look around the NBA and find the players that played during the LeBron James era, the Paul Georges of the world.
Listen, Paul George is the prime example. Honestly, Paul George is the prime example. So, and you know who else is another one? DeMar DeRozan.
DeMar DeRozan,
Raptors never could get past the Cavaliers in the playoffs. You know, and again, not to say that they literally were praying, but they should have been praying. Can somebody please beat the Cavaliers first? Can somebody please beat the Cavaliers first? Can somebody please beat the Cavaliers first? Because we can't beat them. Even when they thought they were close, LeBron James pulled some sort of like buzzer beater or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, God damn it, it's LeBron. It ended up being a mental thing. That's why they had to trade DeMar DeRozan and blow it up a little bit. But it's just like, I understand why you're defensive because you feel they're coming at you, but they also been there, so they can relate. So I shouldn't be. I don't know. I don't like the way that the current gen really doesn't like the old gen. I do know that the old gen sound like haters, but they've been there. They know what you're going through.
Yeah, okay, even though there can be a haterish tone to what they're saying. They're communicating it because they've been there, and it's,
honestly, almost
they know what it's like.
Almost any critique can make you sound like a hater.
That's true.
I don't know if you saw this, but it was a Pivot podcast, and they were talking to Trent Richardson. And I don't know if you remember Trent Richardson. Do you remember who he was?
Yeah, the Chiefs running back.
Not Chiefs. No, not Chiefs. He was on the was it the Browns? And then he got traded to the Colts. He was like a number one.
Okay.
Pick.
Yep.
He was
Yep.
like a top
Yep.
three pick or whatever. And he got traded, and he said the trade definitely ruined him mentally. Like that's when he lost all care for football because the team didn't even tell him. Which the Browns are a dumpster fire organization in that sense, anyway. I really feel like if a trade is really close to being done, you should tell the player. I feel like any organization, no matter how small that player is, even if the player is like the 50th person on the 53-man roster, they should hear it from you, not from other people, not from ESPN. Like, okay, yo, we're doing this trade. Even if you just sent a text, would be a whole lot different. Like, hey, listen, I am on the phone right now with this other organization. You might be getting traded. You don't even have to say what team it is, but just be like, we're wrapping up a deal. We're about to send you out. I'm on the phone wrapping it up right now. I'll let you know who it is once we confirm, type of thing. Because obviously you don't want to say who it is before the trade's actually completed, because then, you know, like some other stuff may happen and tampering stuff becomes involved or whatever. But, you know, like stuff like that. But Trent Richardson, so there was one time when Ryan Clark was on ESPN, and Trent Richardson was bad when he was on the Colts. He was bad when he was in the Colts. And he sat over here, and Ryan Clark said, oh, there's this high school running back that's better than Trent Richardson. And Trent Richardson, that hurt him completely. To the point that Ryan Clark was like, I said that as hyperbole. I wasn't saying it to insult you or to hurt your feelings or anything like that. But, oh, by the way, it was Stephon Diggs who started the fight with the Packers. I don't know who he was fighting with, but he started the fight. He was like, It hurt. And honestly, I really didn't care for football anymore. And Ryan Clark apologized. Like, I wasn't trying to hurt you. Truth be told, Trent Richardson, when he went to the Colts, was not doing good anymore. He was truly bad. And I get that you lost the fun in football. And when he said, oh, there's a high school running back that's better than you, as much as that had hurt, and it may have been hurtful, did you prove him wrong? Like, I get it. Being an athlete and being a sport player, face of a franchise type person, you're going to get a lot of negative comments whenever you fumble the ball in football. They're going to not let that go and everything like that. But it's the price that comes with the fame. What's your take on that?
Yes and no, because don't forget, the majority of these athletes are people, human beings, who from the moment someone realized that they could bounce, catch, throw, whatnot, who have been idolized and put in a pedestal. So sometimes receiving that criticism from somebody who is on par with you or better, it can come off a bit different. So it's an ego thing. They allow their egos to get in the way instead of just letting it, whatever, everyone's going to have an opinion, stay locked in and focus. They allow it. They allow themselves to get distracted. Again, hey, my entire life, someone's been telling me I'm great.
If that's the
Who the
case,
hell is this? Why does he get to tell me I suck now?
If that's the case, were you really ready for the big league then? Because that's all it is. That's really all it is. Listen, you play good, you're going to get praises. You mess up, you're going to get criticized. From people from the sofa to people on ESPN to other players in other locker rooms. Shoot, in NBA, wasn't that Rasheed Wallace who literally was playing with people? Be like, yo, let him shoot. Listen, when I play pickup games, be like, yo, let him shoot. Let him shoot. Don't guard him. Let him shoot. I got boards. Like, I get it. It's not the nicest thing, but at the same time, okay. So to this actually brings up. This happened with the Cowboys. I don't know if you know, like 2-3 years ago, Dak Prescott came out and was talking about how he was struggling with mental health and everything like that. And like, I believe one of his family members committed suicide or something or another. And he was talking about how like he had some suicidal thoughts as well or whatnot. And then Skip Bayless came out and was like, I really wish you did not say that out loud because the other teams are going to use that against you. And a lot of people were like, oh, Skip Bayless is heartless or whatever. And he's like, and honestly, I don't disagree with Skip Bayless because, listen, defensive tackle sacks him. He's like, oh, you want to cry? You want to cry, Dak? You need to go to therapy, Dak? They're going to do that. Don't give him the ammunition for that. Because if you really are in I don't want to say weakened mental state, but if your mental state is to that point, there are going to be assholes out there who will use that against you. And then they're going to, like, okay, right now, if we were to take that right now, and then Dak right now last week got completely demolished by the Lions, right? If
someone's telling him, hey, he needs to go see his therapist to get his mental health right.
Imagine if he was playing against KG. If KG was on the other side, he really would need therapy.
KG who once told Melo something about Lala tasting like
honey
Cheerios
nut
or something
Lala.
like that. Like, wait, what?
Yo, Lala tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios, bro. Yo, you talked about another man's woman and how she tastes? Called her cereal? Breakfast? Yo, listen, like, I don't know. Like, I get it. You are human. And the stress, especially now with social media and everything, making every voice amplified, it makes it harder. But you have to know that's coming. You can't think it's all sugar and rainbows or whatever the saying is.
The solution is for a lot of these athletes to just stay off of social media. Part of what happens is we have a culture of instant access, whereas before we never had that. And with that instant access comes instant emotions and instant feelings. And I think a lot of these professional athletes, if not all of them, should just stay off of the socials, stay off of the ESPNs of the world, go, pay attention to that stuff after the season. Because whatever opinion you're currently being fed, it's going to be skewed one way or the other. If you win a game, even if you guys didn't play that great, well, everyone's going to be feeling like the top of the world. You're going to lose a game. It's going to feel like it's the end of the world. You got to stay away from it and find and develop that woosah, that balance.
Yeah. All right, guys, we kind of went over the halftime break and everything, but is the Patriots in halftime yet? Not Patriots. The Titans, third quarter.
They're coming out of the half. The Bills are still losing to the Titans 10-7. They're about 5 minutes into the third quarter.
All right, guys, we're gonna go on a break real quick, and then we'll come back for the second half of the game. All right, y'all be easy. Go get yourselves a snack. I'm about to go make me a sandwich and call and be right back. I'll be back in about 20 minutes, give or take.
Yeah, that works.
All right, see y'all soon. Like the great white rapper, the greatest
Yes.
whitest rapper of all time. Guess who's back? All right, so we already passed. It's been past halftime, but we've been having some
Yeah.
good conversation with y'all. Nothing really like groundbreaking has happened other than Deshaun Watson's injury. The Packers and the Texans are in a really close game. The Lions and the Vikings are in a really good game right now.
2017.
It's 17-28. The Vikings were up, and then the Lions just came back. Excuse me. Oh, did you hear the nickname for the running backs in Detroit?
No.
Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery came up with a nickname for their backfield. Sonic and Knuckles.
Okay. That works. So one's really fast and the other's the bruiser.
Yeah. I like
Okay.
it. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it.
Listen, bring back the cool nicknames for these running backs and athletes. Bring back the cool nicknames.
Honestly, okay, so Sonic and Knuckles. Who else has a nickname right now in the NFL?
Can't think of one.
Yeah, I'm really having a hard time. Hold on. Derrick Henry's King Henry.
Okay. Chris Johnson, running back for the Titans, used to be known as the Flash.
CJ2K. Also CJ2K as well.
Okay, so you remember him.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think like modern day playing right now. Because Darrell Revis was Revis Island.
Yep.
Vince Wilfork was it Wilfork Continent or something like that?
I thought that was Ted Washington, the defensive tackle that they had before Wilfork. But hey, see, bring back cool nicknames, things like that. Make football fun again.
Make football fun again? Be careful. Actually, Trump is going to be at the Steelers game today. I got an email saying that if you're going to the game, come early because obviously Secret Service is going to be there. So there's gonna be a lot more heightened security and all that stuff.
Surprised he's going to a Steelers game, but I guess Pennsylvania.
Well, he's doing a rally, right? He had a rally yesterday in Pennsylvania. So in Latrobe, which I believe is where the practice facility is.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's good PR, I'll say.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
The Bills have taken the lead. They're up 17-10, but the Titans have the ball. Oh, nope. Flag on them. False start.
The Bills should win that game. And I hope the Bills do win that game.
They should, but this is my issue with, I mean, we talk about Allen like he's the next one, or he's one of the few right now, and you shouldn't be playing this close with the Tennessee Titans. You really shouldn't.
True, but also, they are practicing. They're literally practicing. A brand new wide receiver, and Amari Cooper is going to be a focal point of this offense. He will be.
Do you think that I think Amari Cooper is one of the most underrated wide receivers in the NFL?
Because he's never really been good on the road. That's been his biggest bugaboo.
I feel like I've heard that in the past, but is that still the case? Because, I mean, the reality is he started off in Dallas. He was doing well there, and then they drafted
he started off
CeeDee
in
Lamb.
the Raiders. He was on the Raiders first. They got traded to Dallas.
Oh, I didn't remember. I can't remember him on his Raider days. He was in Dallas. Then they drafted CeeDee Lamb, so that made him expendable. He went to Cleveland and the whole Deshaun Watson fiasco. So his production and numbers just not as bad.
He got there before Deshaun Watson, though, I think.
Yeah, he was. He absolutely was. But who was there before Deshaun Watson? It was Baker Mayfield. So his numbers, he just, I don't know. I just feel like he's a solid, productive, steady guy. He's a 5-time Pro Bowler, which they just showed, and I was shocked. I guess he's not as much diva as is what you would traditionally think a wide receiver.
He is very, very quiet. He honestly, I don't think anyone's ever labeled him a diva once in any city he's ever been in.
I would take him on my team.
Yeah, no, like he doesn't hurt. It's just I wouldn't want to give him top 5 wide receiver money. That's just what the question is. Top 5 is over $30 million a year. You about to give him $30 million a year?
That's kind of where the market is. You don't have much of a choice. You probably won't give him as long of a contract, maybe a 4 or 5 year deal, but if that's where the market is, that's where the market is. For example, Brock Purdy, he's potentially going to be earning close to $60 million a year.
He kind of, yeah. Yo, honestly, okay, so how do you feel about some owners saying that quarterback should not be considered part of the cap?
I'd have to figure out more or just learn more about what the rest of the salary cap how doing that would impact the rest of the team. I guess simply put, that just frees up more money that could be spent on the rest positions of the team.
Yes, it would. Like, I think at the same time, you'd also have to like, okay, let's put it this way. If it was me, if I was to really think about this, I would, honestly, at this rate, the salary cap would go down, but you get like a grace, I guess is one way to say it, of like $45 million per year.
What do you mean a grace? I get the aspect of, okay, hey, if we move the quarterbacks, then our salary cap doesn't need to be as high. We could artificially reduce it.
We're not doing a full move the quarterbacks to a separate salary cap. I believe that all quarterback salary cap for starting quarterbacks start at $45 million. And everything over $45 million count towards your cap. So if you give them $60 million, then it's really a $15 million.
It's only $15 million. Okay. Geez, that's pretty.
But you decrease the salary cap as well, not necessarily to like represent the $45 million, but he probably decreased the salary cap by like 30 million or something like that, just to kind of keep
Something
his
to make the
competitive
numbers
edge.
work. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because in situations like that, Jerry, because you got to prevent it for situations where Jerry Jones wouldn't do it now because he got Dak, but like, okay, cool. Well, then I know you can't afford this quarterback to give him $100 million guaranteed. I'll give him $100 million guaranteed, and I only have to carry about 60 million being against the cap right now, as compared to 100 million. And I know you're not going to sign him because that's kind of what happened with Khalil Mack. If you remember Khalil Mack when he was on
The Raiders.
Raiders and then he went to the Bears,
Yeah.
Chicago.
No, he was on the bit.
He was on the Raiders first.
No,
And went
correct.
To
He
the
was
Bears.
on the Raiders and they traded.
The
What's
reason
his
they
face? John
traded
Gruden.
him, the reason they traded him was because they couldn't afford to pay him the contract he wanted. He wanted X amount guaranteed, and the owner was like, "I don't have that money," and he's like, "Well, I want that money." So he traded him to a team that could pay him that money. It was really because I just didn't have that money. We don't want owners like because Jerry Jones would throw the money at a quarterback. Honestly, right now, well, before Dak, he would have done that.
But see, if they could have worked that, I'm not buying the I don't have that money because they could have. There's so many options of things that they could have done. Given it to him as signing bonuses, made the contract backloaded to where fine, you're gonna get your
it's
money.
not so much about like, but when you do guaranteed money, the moment they sign, that money got to go into an escrow account under their name immediately.
Yeah,
I may not have that liquid cash. Do you accept payment plans, sir? What the hell?
Man,
my TV heard me.
The Bills finally waking up, about to potentially take a 2-touchdown lead. Josh Allen stopped at the 1.
And just for everybody who's watching and whatnot, who pops in and out, always leave a comment. Comments are great. Like the video, always. Likes are great. Less love, more likes.
You could tell us if you didn't like it too, but just leave a like.
Yeah, or you could leave a dislike. That would be kind of fun. What toxic take did we give that made you not like us? Yo, I really got 2 good games on right now. It's 19-21. Packers are up, and they're punting the ball to the Texans. Fourth quarter just started. We got the Lions-Vikings game. That game is really good right now, and that's a division game too.
What's the score on the Lions?
It's still 28-17, but they're in field goal range, I think. Yeah, they're going for the
just
field goal.
about. They're at the start of the 4th, right?
Yeah, they just started the 4th. They're trying to go 28-20, and the kick is good, 28-20. Okay, cool. T. Higgins ain't do shit. That's great. Damn. What the heck? Oh. So I was here's the interesting thing. So I found out what this is called yesterday. So yesterday, this past week was a really busy week at work. So yesterday I went on and I did a retail therapy. And let me tell you something about retail therapy. I don't like it. I need to find another form of therapy. Retail therapy.
Retail therapy.
Yeah.
Oh, so is that where you go shopping?
Yes, pretty much.
To make yourself feel better?
Yeah, I bought some clothes and I bought a tablet, the Samsung Galaxy S10.
Was that where'd you get that?
Online.
On sale?
I had to get it online.
Okay.
So apparently my job gets like, by the way, listen, if there's anything y'all ever remember from me, your jobs literally do give you employee benefits that like, it may not be, I'm not talking about like benefits like 401k. You get discounts at stores or a discount on services. Look at them. Use them. I was able to save about $400 getting me the tablet. They took $200 off the tablet, off jump, right? So it went from $1,189 to $1,100, to $1,000. And then they gave me a free case for it, which was $100. And free shipping. I think the free shipping might have just been standard. But the free case was not, when I was buying it and then I remembered, hey, I think we got a discount with Samsung. So I took a look, and then that's when I saw I get a free $100 bookcase cover, and I get $200 off. So that's $300 I saved right there. Just take a look, guys. It doesn't hurt. It's like 2 seconds. So I was able to use that, and then I went to who? This is where I found out that either Samsung is being elitist, or Best Buy is the stores are not selling Samsung products anymore. They rather sell Apple. I went to Best Buy first, right? Because I'm like, if I got a tablet, I know they got me this case, but it's not like it's a pretty case. It's not a
It's not a heavy duty case.
yeah, like I want a case that if it slips out my hands, I don't need to cry about a cracked screen. Okay. So I went there to go look, and you walk into Best Buy, there's a whole bunch of Apple products and accessories and all that stuff. And then there's a whole bunch of Windows laptops and accessories and all that stuff. And they had like literally 2 hooks of stuff for the Samsung tablets. And then I was like, do you guys even have the tablet here for sale? They're like, nah. And I was like, oh, that's real. That is very, very real. So then I went to T-Mobile, same thing. And then I stopped at Walmart, same thing. I don't know.
They keep on hand the items that are more likely than not going to sell, which are Apple.
Yo, so much Apple. Like, I get it that Apple is better and stuff, but like, well, not better. I'm not gonna say it's better. It's more liked. You sheep believe Apple is better, but it's not. Okay.
Hater.
But for real, you guys don't need to play Samsung like that. That's kind of like I needed a local accessory so I could just like get me a real case. And I can't even get a case where I got it. And then y'all gonna be mad. Well, not y'all gonna be, but the store owners are gonna be mad. Like, Amazon is killing us. Well, I just went in there try to give y'all money cash, and y'all literally laughed in my face without laughing. Okay, so
no, we don't have the item, but here's a picture of it.
Not even a picture. Like, I literally was like, yo, do you guys have Samsung stuff? And he's like, yeah, no, it's over by the bathroom. What? I went over there, and it's like literally they had more Samsung phones cases than they had for the tablet. They had it for like the past 3 generations of phones, and they only have one for this last generation of the tablets. One of them's like, oh, a new one dropped? I didn't even know. I'm like, okay, great. It's been out for over a month, but clearly y'all don't care about them.
See, I feel I don't hear too much talk about the Samsung tablet. Typically, it's more iPads and whatever Windows is doing. Is Windows still doing the Surface?
They still have the Surface, but I wanted a tablet, not a laptop.
They're so interchangeable these days.
It really is interchangeable, but the thing is, there's some things that you can actually do on a laptop that you can do on a tablet, you can't do on a laptop. Like downloading episodes. You can't download them on a laptop. You can download them on a tablet, but if it's a laptop, it won't let you.
Oh, okay. For travel purposes and things of that nature, you mean? Okay, I got you. I haven't downloaded entire seasons on my iPad and taken them on the road with me.
Exactly. I can't do that with a laptop. And I don't like watching television shows on my phone. That's way too small of a screen. Way too small.
Another benefit is once you download them, you don't even need to be online. Even if you don't have online
you can watch
access,
it offline.
it's there.
Mainly, one of the reasons I really wanted was for the cruise. So that was really the point for that one. And then I also bought some clothes for the cruise. And then next thing you know, I came back home and I was like, when did I start working for a cartel? Because why am I blowing money like I do?
Oh, I saw the funniest meme. It was like, listen, why we go out and spend all this money to buy new clothes to be around people that have never seen us before?
They don't know if the clothes is new or not. It's new to them. Yo, you know what? All right, cool. I'm done buying clothes. I'm done buying clothes. That's it. You just convinced me. I don't need to buy nothing else. Listen, I got a swimming trunks. I don't need no new swimming trunks. I don't need to use anything like that. I got me swimming shoes already, so that's good. All right, bet. You just motivated me. It's new to them. Yeah, nah, this
wherever I go, it's gonna be brand new to that country. Makes sense.
So retail therapy is horrible. I need to find a cheaper one.
Oh, the Bills just scored. They're up 23, about to be 24-10. They look like they're
24-10. All right, and fourth quarter is what? How many minutes left in the fourth?
they just started the fourth. They scored at the
Oh wow,
beginning.
why is that game so
But the
far behind?
Titans, you could tell they're having quarterback issues. It just hasn't looked as efficient as
Well,
it could be.
Mason Rudolph didn't get told he was starting until this morning.
Early on, it looked like there was some chemistry there, but hey, you can tell when these quarterbacks get dropped in last minute like this, they can make it look good for a series or two, but then
Yeah, and
looks
then after they're gonna be like,
sloppy.
all right, we're overthinking it. Just stop this, man.
But the Bills finally woke up. I'll give them that. I will give them that.
Let me see something here. I want to see the stat line of that game real quick.
What, the Buffalo game? Oh, let me see what
Yeah.
else is going.
What did someone posted in the chat?
My comment?
No, not your comment. Did you take a look in the chat? People want to know what the itinerary is so they can plan their clothing accordingly. I guess they're about to buy some new clothes. NFL. Okay, so let's see. Drives. Oh, so actually, I never gave you my finals prediction for the NBA. So
Yeah. Oh,
I
you got
really
Celtics Thunder. Who do
think
you got?
I want to say 76ers, but because of injury, I just can't support that one. I think a year together, they might be able to figure out what Giannis. I want to say the Bucks, but part of me is telling me the Knicks. This might be the year. This might be the year for the Knicks.
I'll be honest with you. The NBA is a bit different when the Knicks are playing well. Well, and probably because we're in the New England area, but when the Knicks are playing well, there's excitement.
No, because they're also one, New York fans are wild. Second, it's the way they're playing. They're not like, we're not gonna outscore you out the building. We're literally going to stop you from scoring. Like good old fashioned. If you loved old NBA, you love what you're seeing right now from the Knicks.
That's Tibbs basketball. That's the impact of Tibbs. I like that.
Literally.
They're gonna come out and outwork you.
Okay.
So Knicks and who?
Then okay, so it's gonna be the Bucks versus, and honestly, I do like your Thunder take. I think the Thunder might come back down to earth somewhat. I think they peaked last year.
You think so?
I think
They
they
have
over
probably one of the
delivered
youngest
last year.
cores
I
in
do
the
like
NBA
Shy
right
Alex.
now.
I love Shy. Great player. I think they over delivered a little bit. They're not gonna be as good as they were last year. They're gonna be great. They're gonna be a playoff team. They should be a top four. Is it four? How many teams making the playoffs? 8, right? Yeah, so they're gonna be in the top 4 of the West. They're definitely gonna be top 4 of the West. But if
There's
I
like 10
gotta
teams.
take a look, I'm looking at my options here. Definitely not gonna be the Lakers. Like I think we can all agree on that. Won't be the Warriors. Won't be the Lakers. Won't be the Clippers. It won't be the Rockets. Won't be Trailblazers. Won't be Jazz. Will Ja be healthy all year?
That's a good question.
It won't be the Suns. I don't believe in the Suns. I believe the Timberwolves.
The Suns have an inability to build out their team because of
They're
what they
paying
gave
so
up.
much to 3 players. Like they said, they're literally the experimentation of, okay, if stars wins championships, then let's just get more stars. it doesn't work that way. You need a star minimum. You do need 2 regularly. You can't have 3 because then you don't have anyone else. My fandom wants to say the Mavericks, but I don't know. Someone brought to my attention how Klay Thompson's looking in the preseason for my Mavericks.
He looks weird in a Dallas Mavericks uniform. It almost,
you know what else looks weird? His
right.
stat lines. Okay, his stat lines don't look weird. It looks horrendous. Like, my Lord. I don't think the Timberwolves can do it. I don't know if Julius actually no. With Anthony Edwards, can that bring Julius Randle like to the next level? Maybe.
I think he's in a contract year, so
he
I
very
think
much
he's
is.
going to be
very much
pretty motivated.
All right. So let me put it like this. All right, let me change it this way. My conference finals are going to be Mavericks Timberwolves for a rematch, and on the East it's going to be Bucks Knicks. And in that situation, I got Bucks versus Mavericks. Where do we have anyone that can stop Giannis?
So the Mavericks are going to make it back to the finals, but not the Celtics.
We don't have a chemistry issue brewing right now.
We don't either. Both of these guys have a chip on their shoulder. Everyone just got paid. Everyone's gotten paid. What are you talking about?
No. This is a different type of chip. There's a chip of you guys can't win it or whatever. But that's not the chip that they got. The chip that they got is, yo, hold on. Is it Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum who is the leader?
No, we put that we put that to bed already. It's Jason Tatum's team.
We put it to bed last year happened, and then now we got a question.
No. See, it's media people like you that's causing the issue. Okay, it's media people like you that's causing the issue.
Give my fedora and my little notepad, and I'm gonna be over here. So Jaylen Brown, how's it feel being the NBA Finals MVP and not even invited to the Olympics, where your role player got invited instead of you? I saw you tweeted something about that. I saw a tweet. Care to comment?
For a second there, I thought you were calling Jason Tatum the role player, but the reality is he was a role player in the Olympics. So you could be talking about him, Drew Holiday, or Derek White. So
you telling me the role players get to go to the Olympics and I can't? Oh, I bet. Yo, shame. For shame. Uh-oh. We lost him. We lost you. Oh, you're back. And we lost you again.
Nope, I'm here.
All right, there you go.
All right, word. My fault. I think my foot hit the wire. Yeah, so we'll be good until the next round of contract talks with these guys.
Hold on, you're coming through a different mic. I don't think you're coming through the microphone itself. Or at least you sound far away.
It's not letting me choose my output source.
Not your output, your input for your microphone.
Okay, here we go.
There we go.
Hey.
And you can still hear me, right?
I'm not the one trying to put Tatum and Brown against each other for a comment in the chat. I'm not trying to put Tatum and Brown against each other. It's just the truth of the matter. Brown tweeted it. He tweeted it when they chose Derek White over him. Like, he tweeted it. And this season, first off, let me tell you something right now. If you were to sit over here and you had to put a parlay bet, would you put a parlay bet on Tatum? Because Mr. Tatum over there is Mr. If you got a parlay on me, you better not talk. Don't lay on me. You ain't gonna get it. You already got it. We get those running backs. We get the game.
What would the parlay bet be?
Let's say if you needed 20 points, over 20, and over 7 assists.
For the season?
No, just for one given game.
Oh yeah, you got that.
Okay, fine. Put that parlay bet on and tell me how much you lost. Do it for the season opener. Nah, you said you got that. Put your money where your mouth is and get popping.
I'll get back to you on that. I'll get back to you.
Nah. Talk your shit.
It's just weird. You know what? I think part of the issue is give me another team, and I guess the answer would be the Warriors, where you had two great wing players of their caliber.
But it wasn't even like, even though there were great wing players and whatnot with the Warriors with the Splash Brothers, Clay knew it was Steph. And Clay never wanted, not I want to say wanted, but Clay never really they never talked about trading Clay until this last current year. They knew they got to keep the nucleus together and these two are going to be together. The Celtics, on the other hand, be always teasing, we're going to trade Jaylen Brown. So Jaylen Brown eventually is like, all right, cool. If I'm going to get traded, I got to prove myself. So then give me the ball. It's a contract year for me because I'm always about to be traded. Y'all always keep my name in your mouth when you're about to trade me.
That part I'm with you. I feel like the past few years, his name has routinely come up in
every year
trade conversations.
Like, a man can only take so much. Like, for real. And I respect Jaylen Brown for taking as much as he has. Like, he's dealt with it and whatnot, and just but it has just been ridiculous, man. Yo, the Packers and the Texans. 5 minutes left. Oh, Joe Mixon. The resurgence of Joe Mixon.
Listen, that was on my board. That's on the board. I think I added it to the notes.
You did.
Joe Mixon.
When I never closed the door on Joe Mixon, I really believe that the Bengals are missing him right now tremendously. The Bengals truly wish they had Joe Mixon right now. These NFL owners and GMs thinking they're so smart. We don't need a running back. Oh, anyone can do what you're doing. Ask the Giants. Ask the Giants right now. Ask the Bengals. You think they wouldn't want to have Joe Mixon back right now? Come on now.
See, that's another reason why I say the Cincinnati Bengals, they're on that list of teams that people should be done with, because at one point they had the quarterback, the running back, and not one but two wide receivers.
No, and they listened to the false narrative that the NFL, not NFL itself, but like these other GMs are pushing out. Oh, any running back can do what you're doing. No, listen. Let me ask you this. All right, I'm gonna paint a scenario. If for some reason my 6th round drafted running back is doing just as good as this other team's 1st rounded drafted running back, is it that any running back can do it? Or maybe that team just drafted a bad running back? Or maybe I drafted a really good diamond in the rough.
Bingo. Diamond in the rough. 6th round? Ooh, how'd you land in my lap?
Exactly. Like, if that's the case, if we're going to use that same logic, then, because a lot of 1st round quarterbacks don't do too great. They don't. So why don't we just draft them all in the 4th round then?
Success.
Like, come on. Like, I don't, that take really just, I don't want to say grinds my gears, but it's like, you guys are really I'm going through this right now with Najee Harris. I want my Steelers to sign, because I want my Steelers to sign Najee Harris back. They need to give this man a contract. Pay this man. Because what do you think is going to happen next year if he leaves? Jaylen Warren, and again, not saying that Jaylen Warren is not good, but Jaylen Warren is a change of pace back. He's a great back. I don't know per se if he can be a lead back, but he is a great back.
Hopefully the Steelers learned their lesson because they recently went through this with Le'Veon Bell and
But here's
O'Connor.
the issue. No, but here's the issue with them. I don't think they learned their lesson, because after Le'Veon Bell, they had James Conner. And James Conner was good.
Who's no longer on the team.
Huh?
Who's no longer on the team.
Yeah, no. And after they let him walk, they signed Najee.
Najee Harris. Okay. So
That we can always get another running back because now what they're gonna say? They're gonna say we got Jalen Brown, not Jalen Brown, Jalen Warren. It's listen. I'm not saying that a running back that you drafted in the first round is just as good as a running back in the sixth round is complete bull. You graded them wrong, okay? Because there's a lot of other running backs you drafted in the sixth round that can't even break a roster.
I
You
like the diamond in the rough theory.
Like, listen, but here's the funny thing, right? Just to kind of paint a narrative here as well. Is it the Vikings? No, the Packers were like, oh, we don't need Josh Jacobs or whatever. Not Josh Jacobs. We don't need Aaron Jones. He's too old. We could get any running back to do this. But what did they do? They went to go get Josh Jacobs, an all-pro running back. They're like, no, not any running back can do this. Because you know what happened? Their backup was A.J. Dillon, and they realized not every running back can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the Vikings. You know what? We had AP, and then after that, any running back can do this. And then they've had the Cam Akers experiment, and then the Alexander Madison experiment, and they had another running back last year. I can't remember. And then you know what they did this year? They're like, yo, Aaron Jones, Pro Bowl, come over here. Like, some teams learn and some teams don't. You think, listen, I'm telling you right now, if the Giants really go through this next draft and don't draft a running back in this upcoming draft class, no, they got Tyron Tracy. I like Tyron Tracy. But
they need to shore up the depth chart though at running back.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we talked about it last week. The running back position is an extinct. It's going extinct because of the mindset that you just talked about there. Of hey, we can plug and play
I feel
anybody.
like that mindset is proven wrong this year. Look at Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is balling. Look at Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is having a great year. Look at Josh Jacobs. He just got a receiving touchdown this year with the Packers. Joe Mixon, balling. Saquon Barkley, balling. So the GMs don't want to admit that they were wrong about how they evaluate running backs. They're trying to say the running backs are just not worth it. No, the running backs are worth it. You just need to learn how to reevaluate them.
Hey, you didn't mention that the Lions-Vikings game is now 28-29 with 5 minutes left in the fourth.
Wait, 28-29? I thought
28-29.
I thought they just kicked the field goal or whatnot. Hold on. Oh, how did they get that? I did not see that touchdown. I was too busy talking about the running back situation.
The Bills threw a touchdown that was overturned. The Bengals are up on the Browns 21-6.
Oh, out of
Titans
bounds.
Packers, that's another close one. There's about 3 minutes left on that one.
Which one?
Titans Packers.
Oh, very close. That's the one I've really been watching.
2 minutes left on that game.
Yeah, the Packers defense could not get a stop. That's really where it just all came down to. They just needed to stop, but the Texans are just running down the field, running it down their throat, milking the clock.
The Dolphins look like they're on the way to another loss. They're trailing the Colts 10-3, 13.
Dolphins are losing to the Colts?
Yep.
Oh, dang. That was not on my bingo card either.
The AFC East is wide open.
It is, and that's why I'm saying the Bills can just practice their way to a playoffs.
You know what? The Patriots might be able to figure. Well, no, they lost today, but yeah, you're right. They might be able to just back their way into the AFC East divisional crown.
Let's see here. What's the stat lines looking like for this game? Because I'm wondering about Anthony Richardson because I like the guy, but he's looking like he's not a quarterback. He is what Bill Polian was talking about when he was trying to describe Lamar Jackson.
how things have changed. I feel like the Colts were on an upward swing. Who's the running back? Jonathan Taylor was
Yep.
just rushing and running over and through everyone and then just
I think they just
Here
got to
they
give
are.
up. They got to toss this year out. Like honestly, no, not toss this year out. Let me rephrase that. They need
It's
to
week
sit over here and really
6.
look and evaluate Anthony Richardson and realize if they need to get a quarterback next year. You know, this is really bad.
Oh, hey, I've got the play for you.
What's up?
If Archie Manning comes out and they get a high enough draft pick, Archie Manning to the Colts.
And then because of situations like that, that's why people are going to say the NFL is rigged.
Listen, we saw the Manning family hold up the NFL and basically say, no, we're not going to the San Diego Chargers. We're going to New York instead. We saw that. They held up a draft and said, no, if you draft us, I will not come with Eli Manning.
He's like, I don't need the money. My family already got the money. I don't need the money. Okay, I'm going to paint a scenario for you because this is reality. 1:44 seconds, one timeout. Packers need down by 1.
Okay.
Can they do it?
Where's the ball?
They're about to receive the kickoff.
Hey, Jordan Love, show that you're the man.
Jordan Love today has 2 interceptions.
Josh Jacobs had a touchdown. He got a running touchdown. Good for him.
No, he had a receiving touchdown.
Receiving.
Yeah. Okay, Philadelphia beating the Giants. Damn. Josh Downs really disappointed me right here. Okay, Vikings up by 1, 3rd and 4. Sam Darnold rolls out and misses Justin Jefferson. 4th and 4, 2 minutes, 41 seconds left. Vikings about
they
to
got
punt.
go for it. They're punting?
The Vikings are up. They're up 1.
Oh, okay. I thought, all right. Wait a minute, what? You gotta go for it. 2 minutes. They put the onus on their defense. It's given up 28 points on the day.
Looks like I was the only person that wanted to go to a hibachi restaurant. Someone actually.
I'm going to be honest with you. I thought that was going to be the pick purely because it would offer probably better Instagram picture opportunities.
Honestly, I thought so too, but I guess they just care about seafood. So I got to put that in the chat right now. But yeah, Steakhouse won. I was the only one who voted for the hibachi.
And truth be told, steakhouses will probably have the safer, more familiar options, depending on.
It's Japanese food. Give me some sushi. I'm pretty sure you just got it by sticking a fishing rod outside one of these windows. And
You'd like to think that.
Yo, I'm about to lose this fantasy week because Josh Downs and Christian Watson did not show up at all. Those two combined for 3 points fantasy-wise.
I am scouting for next year because I'm looking for breakout players this year so that I can draft them next year. My season was lost. I'm 1-5 in the league. It's a fire sale. Come on, come on. I'll take draft picks.
I already started the draft pick move. And you should have got a draft pick for Drake London. You should not have tried to get the running back help. You should have just went straight for draft picks with Mooney. Like Mooney in a 5th or Mooney in a 6th, maybe a Mooney in a 10th or whatever for Drake London. Because Kamara did not help you out at all.
Help me out. Wasn't D-Hop with Tennessee, left Tennessee to go to Arizona?
He was on the Texans and got traded for a bag of Skittles and a Kit Kat to Arizona. And then from Arizona
To Tennessee,
I believe, yeah.
because he's standing on the sideline now.
Yeah, no, that hair is definitely gonna stick out. 2nd and 10, 1 minute left. This is interesting. Oh, Mason Rudolph had a pretty decent day though. No mistakes. He didn't turn the ball over or anything.
Yeah, first couple of series, he looked decent, and then it just clearly looked as if they lacked any type of cohesion or any type of chemistry. It looked very much like, hey, you're starting today. We're going to need you to go out there and execute.
All right, they're at the midfield yard line, the 50-yard line, 2nd and 10. Packers, Jordan Love steps back, throws the ball. Caught by number 27. Who was that? Who's 27? 87. Dobbs? I don't know who 87 is, but caught it for a first down. Clock's ticking, no timeout used. Packers still got 1 timeout left.
Oh, they need to clock it. Are they clocking
they're
it?
not clocking it. They're going for another play. Looks like Texans are going to rush 4. Oh, Jordan Love is changing the play on the field. Yo, you're wasting time. You wasted 14 seconds now.
Oh.
You should have just spiked it and saved that time because they really just ran a screen to the tight end who just went out of bounds at the line of scrimmage.
So a bunch, a nothing burger, as they would say.
Encroachment, free play, offsides. So how many is that? That's like a 5-yard penalty, right?
Yep, Aaron Rodgers taught him that, and automatic first down.
It wasn't a. Oh yeah, no, he probably did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, automatic first down as well. 1st and 5 at the 45-yard line. Then, no, it's not the 45-yard line. It's at the 33-yard line. How'd they get so far out? Oh wait, no, Dobbs did get a catch. 87 did get the catch. 21 seconds, 1 timeout left. 1st and 5 at the 32. Jordan Love throws it off his back foot. Oh. He did the type of pass where I was like, yo, you're going to get picked off. All right, meanwhile, the Vikings-Lions.
3 seconds left now.
For who? 3 seconds left? Oh, you're ahead of me.
In the 4th for the Texans-Packers?
Yeah, you're ahead of me. I'm still at 20-something seconds.
Oh.
Yo, I'm rooting for the Lions here. I don't like seeing the Vikings undefeated.
Is this the... Well, listen. That really stinks for the Vikings because it looks like if their quarterback was decent.
Hold on, are they calling that completed or are they calling that incomplete? They're calling it completed. That looked like either incomplete or a fumble.
It's a pick, game over.
Yo, these games are wrapping up, and we're going to end the stream at the end of the Vikings-Lions game. 28-29, a minute 18 left. Lions with the ball, 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Oh, the field goal was blocked.
Yo!
No, so I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I just realized I'm ahead of you. You just mentioned that.
This man's don't like me, dog. This man's does not like me. He really just had me going a whole emotional roller coaster. I like the Packers.
If Jordan Love ends up being what most people are predicting him to be, which is a pretty solid, serviceable quarterback, maybe even above average, it'll be pretty interesting to watch the Green Bay Packers go from Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers,
a lot of teams
and now
are complaining it's not
him.
fair. They're complaining it's not fair at all, and I understand why they're saying that. I don't blame them for saying that, but you went from franchise to franchise to franchise quarterback and no breaks.
That would be unbelievable. It really would. Especially coming from the perspective of someone here in New England to watch us go from Tom Brady to Cam Newton to Mac Jones, and you look around the league and you see what some of these other teams have been going through. I don't want to go through that.
Time out. You know how I said, oh, they iced the kicker. That's why. I was like, what the heck? And he still made it. Okay. You know how I said Jalen Brown, his team, Tatum is his team, and they're gonna fight about that. And he said, "I'm
Mm.
making up the narratives." I don't know if you saw the comment. The Celtics are coming with a vengeance this year. Brown is proving that the Celtics is his team, and Tatum is proving he should have played in the Olympics. And that literally will be the reason why this team will not make the
Yo,
finals.
get off of Twitter. What are you reading that on?
That's in our comments.
Oh. Oh. Well. See? All right. See. Oh. Listen, they're both just coming out to prove that they should have been on the Olympic team and should have gotten more play, as well as they're going to be working the back to try to repeat. That's it. That's what's on the menu for the Celtics this year. All right, the Bills just, what are they doing? They got the ball.
So
Yeah,
the
they're going to
Packers
get the
won.
win.
I'm happy.
Yep,
about
the
it.
Dolphins lost the game 16-10. Seattle's beat the shit out of the Falcons 34-14.
Yo, that was not on my bingo card.
I started the Seahawks defense today. I love it. Cincinnati won. Ooh, they're 2-4.
And who they beat again?
I can't recall. It went by right. Oh, damn it.
That's
What was the team?
That's a 2 win in a row, though. That's something.
All right. Well, teams are teaming. Man, how things have changed in New England. I can't believe that we're all excited over a loss because
they
of
beat
how
Cleveland.
promising things look.
They beat a Cleveland team without even Deshaun Watson.
You would expect the score to be more lopsided than what it was, right? 21-6.
Yeah. There's something wrong with the Bengals.
You know what? That's another potential Bill Belichick destination, Cincinnati. Get that ship back on.
Let me see. Hold on.
Get the show back on the track.
If he went to Cincinnati, the defense would get better. He would have to get Josh McDaniels with him for the offensive coordinator position.
No, he just needs one of these younger, modern-ish thinking offensive coordinators.
So who, though?
I think if Bill comes back to coaching, he needs to accept that I'll be the head coach and focus on the defense. I need to bring in someone who's exclusively going to work and focus on the offense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because okay, let's be honest. If he never did that whole Matt Patricia offensive coordinator stunt, would he have been fired?
Probably not. The kid, Mac Jones, would less likely to have been as damaged. Mm-hmm. Now, it would have been problematic because he would have been changing offensive coordinators his second year into the league. However, he probably wouldn't have been as damaged. You had your special teams coach and a defensive coordinator as your quarterback coach and offensive coordinator. Like, it just,
So, hold on. Just a quick side note. The Lions just made the field goal. Remember how I told you that division wins matter even more? The Vikings were 5-0. The Lions are 4-1. The Lions win this game if they don't pull a Buffalo Bills and fumble this game with 13 seconds left. If the Lions keep the win, this is like 2 losses for the Vikings. Because in the tiebreaker, you don't have the advantage against the Lions anymore. The Lions are now number 1 in the division. The Vikings are number 2. Same record, but because they beat you, they're ahead of you. That's why that's why division games matter, and that's my only fear. If the NFL adds European teams, they need to keep the sanctity of division games. That makes rivalries better. You know what I mean? Like when y'all beat
Yes.
the Jets, it's not
Yeah.
so much that we beat the Jets, but we ain't making the playoffs and we make sure you ain't making the playoffs.
The Bills really woken up and scored again in the fourth.
Who scored this time?
Davis, their running back.
Ray Davis. Okay.
All right, 33-10. Now you guys, 34-10. Now you guys are making it look more lopsided than it actually was.
Hey, listen, garbage time counts. Damn, he had two people score 25.
Wraps it up.
Keon Coleman has 4 receptions for 125 yards. All right, cool. I can start him next year. Now he's actually getting open because they're covering Amari Cooper. Love to see it.
See, you're on the same wave as me. We're planning for next year already. That's actually going to be a topic for next week. We're going to take a look.
I'm ready for next week. I can start Keon Coleman next week.
Oh, he's on your team?
Yeah. Well, different league.
Okay.
Midfield. Oh, 50-yard line. They're trying to spike it. No time. They couldn't finish it. No timeouts. They threw it in the middle of the field because the lines were covering the sidelines. All right. Look at flag. How the hell you throw a flag with no time left?
Can't end the game on a penalty. Okay.
Okay, yeah, no, it was something about they ran to the line too quickly, and I guess not everybody was set. So it's a clock runoff. All right, yeah, so it's game over. Yo, listen, I like the Vikings. Not the Vikings. I like the Lions. Wait, there's one more play?
Oh. All right, Mason Rudolph. You know what? You came out, you gave it a good attaboy, a nice try. Hopefully you look better next week.
No, like if he gets to practice with the ones this week, he's gonna look a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Damn, they really did get that playoff with 1 second left. That's wild. All right, y'all. Listen, we appreciate y'all tuning in. We got a lot more viewers this week, a lot more conversation this week as well. We appreciate the comments and everything like that. Don't forget to like. And what else they got to do, Marv?
Subscribe.
There you go. It's the two laws of streaming, man. LNS or SNL.
Ooh.
I think Saturday Night Live got the SNL, so I think we got
Right.
LNS.
Let's
Yeah,
like
and
it soon,
subscribe.
please.
Yeah. And then, hit your little Benjamin Franklin and knock that notification bell. All right.
Oh, man. All right.
Anyway, we'll see you next week. And remember, Steelers are better than what people think they are. The Patriots defense is not who we thought they were.
Oh, calm down.
And what else was there? Yo, basketball's back. Might end up doing more videos with the basketball going on. Because we got to see how this... Oh, we're going to have reactions every week about Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, I feel like. This is not a conversation that's going to be over.
Listen,
Let this first game of the season come down to a one-possession game, and it's like, who's going to get the ball, Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum? And Jason Tatum takes that shot and misses it. And people are going to be like, it should have been Jaylen Brown, the finals MVP.
Oh, my goodness.
Just kiss.
Stop putting this stuff into the air, okay? Stop it. Stop putting this stuff into the air.
You act like I'm plotting or something on the team that beat my team in the finals. Je ne sais quoi. I don't know what you're talking about. But I will tell you this, mon frère. The Celtics ain't doing jack squat. All right, y'all. But for real, take it easy. Have a good week. Have an easy week. And then, if anything, subscribe, like, hit the notification. Leave some comment next time, whether you like us or hate us. We just want to know. Deuces.